Hello, hello, hello. I am the African witch bitch hoodoo practitioner. Hello. Today, what are we discussing? Y'all tell me what we discussing because this is going to be one heavy topic. I popped up on that ass, didn't I? Yes, I did. Mother's Day just passed. And today we need to discuss the mother wound. We need to discuss people who are healing from having toxic ass moms, or maybe healing because their mom is no longer with us. Or maybe they just have something they just need to address. You may not have even had a toxic ass mom. Maybe you had a mama that was a good mama, but maybe she just wasn't perfect. Maybe you had a mama that was a piece of shit. Maybe you had a mama that simply wasn't there and you want to tap into her because she's on the other side. This is all mama related. Maybe you want to be a better mama. You know what I mean? Maybe you realize that you are parenting your kids through your shadow self and you just want to, goddamn it, do better. It's all about accountability today. You already know AWB's platform is a no judgment zone. This is a place where you can come and be your complete self. And you can talk and you can express, and we are here to help usher you into healing. That is what we do, baby. That is what we do. And no, we don't need to charge you an arm and a leg and all your coochie hair for your healing. I don't give a damn what these other bitches say. I've been saying it for 100 years, and I'm going to say it for 100 more. Y'all hoes need to debate me. And the hoes I'm talking about, for the people who are new to me, are the ones who believe that spirituality should cost a fuck ton of money and they charge fucking alien pussy prices for work and services and products. As y'all see, I'm here at my Botanica. I'm working right now. I'm always working and I love it. It literally is what keeps that muscle beating in my chest. But as women, we are the life givers, and it is an honor to be a woman. And whether you've had a child or haven't had a child does not mean that you are not a life giver. You can speak life into somebody by just talking to them. I have had many women breathe life into me. And mother is a term that can be given for a creator of life. You know what I mean? And you don't have to necessarily create life, in my opinion. Now, this may be a controversial topic, but I know plenty of foster mothers who are 10 times better than birth mothers. I know birth mothers who shouldn't even have a fucking goldfish, let alone a child. You know what I mean? But I have met some amazing foster parents. I've met some amazing step parents, mothers. We're talking about mothers today. We're going to do a Father's Day and to deal with the daddies next month. But I done met some amazing stepmamas. I done met some foster mamas. I done met some amazing adoptive mamas. I done met some aunties out there, some of them big mamas out there who love to give and love to care. And that's that energy that we were gifted from the universe. It's our yoni verse. It's a yoni for a reason, baby. So right now we're here to discuss it. There are some people out here who really might need healing from a mother wound, or maybe who just want to tap into their mama, or maybe who just want to process some shit, or maybe they want to ask how they want to ask their spirit team and get a free reading to find out how can they be better parents to their kids, or maybe they want to learn how to get their kids to forgive them and work on their relationship. We're here for it. So as you guys know, I have Teresa. She backstage right now. I'm going to bring her up. And I am finna drop the link. Before I even do that, let me go to the comment section. Hello, everybody. Y'all know before I bring her up, I got to say hello to my babies. So I see Velmar. Hi, how are you? How are you? Yes, baby, the alien cat. You know how high alien pussy is? About as high as fucking eggs are in goddamn me rent in California. You know what I mean? And grocery prices. Oof, child. Hello, Mellow Love. That's my baby right there. Nina. Hello, hello, hello. Nina, I want you present definitely for the Father's Day. I need you. Hi, Dara. Hi, Tiffany Easter. Hello. Hello, Hood Mistress, baby. So I'm dropping the link right now. Anybody who want to come on, click the link. And I'm going to bring Teresa up so she can introduce herself. You know what I mean? I need you to introduce herself. She's a mama. She's a mama to many, 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 many kids. I have co-parented beside her with children that nobody wanted. These are the children that a lot of people like to call, I hate this term, but they like to call the throwaway children. These are children that didn't have parents and that were sleeping in a shelter. And that's where we connected. And we parented those kids on their worst days and on their best days. So this is Teresa, third generation psychic.
There you go. Hi guys.
Introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I like the topic today. I myself I'm a mom, and like you said, we were moms to many girls, right? Girls that actually visit us at the shop, remember?
Yes.
And girls that still text us. Now I work with boys actually. That's unique,
I
definitely.
work with both girls
Yeah.
and
So
boys, kids from age 0 to 21. And even my kids who are aged out, they're still my kids and I still, am in their life. So you guys, please feel free to click the link to come up. But just know, um, don't never ever underestimate the power to bring life to a child who might be out there. Don't a lot of people just, I guess they may not have it in them or whatever, but they'll see kids as a burden and treat them like shit. I don't understand that. I never understand people who have a jealous energy to children. I'll never ever understand that. I don't get it and I never will. But there are people out there who are like that. I don't get it though. I promise I never will. How you look at a whole ass baby and be jealous and hate a child who's innocent? How do you do that? I don't understand. I don't get it. Teresa, do you have any insight how somebody could be so goddamn evil to children?
yeah, sometimes well, from my experience working with adults as well, in my mortal job, it's a thing where some parents project their trauma into their children, and that's when toxicity happens, right? It's the circle of violence that we see, the circle of not being present. Many of us grew up in households whether we simple things as when we have a child, it's called secure attachment, insecure attachment, anxious attachment, etc., etc., right? So what happens is that sometimes some people are not ready to be parents and they just pop it out, and they're so full of trauma and hurt, and they haven't worked through those issues, and they project that into their children. And I'm sorry to say it, even violence, they abuse physically, sexually, mentally, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see that.
Yeah, and I really, and I know a lot of people be like, some people shouldn't just have parents, and I agree, but I be feeling like, bitch, if you're not gonna take care of a child, don't have it. But how do you regulate that? You know what I mean? How do you regulate that?
Mhm.
That's why I think that you should definitely heal yourself. And if you ever catch yourself parenting through your trauma lens, seek therapy. It's no shame in having a therapist.
Right. It's for real. Normalize therapy, because
Oh,
again, especially in young men, it's hard. I noticed that. Let's talk about genders, right?
okay.
Usually females are, they're more open, some, not all of them, but they're more open. But guys, young men, they have a harder time to open up about their trauma. They won't talk about it.
Yeah, it's difficult to get boys to share. I went to a human trafficking, sex trafficking, children sex trafficking conference, and they said that
Mhm.
there's so many boys out there that are being sold, and they do not talk. They don't talk because boys are socialized not to express their feelings, especially boys of color, black boys, brown boys. They don't talk.
Right.
And it's really sad and sickening. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, let me go on a tangent right quick. I'm waiting for anybody can click in if you guys want a free reading. I don't have anybody backstage right now. And I've clicked the link several times, but let me tell y'all something that's a trigger for me while we wait for people to come through. I hate hearing children be sexualized. The shit pisses me the fuck off. And a lot of people like to do it in jest.
Mm.
It pisses me the fuck off to the highest level of pistivity when I hear people sexualize little boys and little girls, but they do it in such a gender biased way that it makes me want to fucking snatch their edges out, not mine, but theirs. When they say stupid shit like asking a little fucking kid, you got a little girlfriend? I'm gonna be your little girl. No, bitch, you won't be his little girlfriend, you pedophile ass bitch. You think that shit is funny, but it really ain't. You don't
Right.
ask no little ass boy, does he have a little girlfriend? And you don't make comments about little girls' bodies saying, oh, she gonna be bad when she get older. You're a sick fuck is what you are. Kids have a right to grow up untouched and unbothered. And just because a girl is developed does not mean that she's automatically quote unquote fast. I said what I said. And I just don't understand that. And you don't need to be making comments about little boys' bodies if he's outside mowing the lawn or playing basketball like you sick fucking bitch. I want to rock a bitch shit for saying some shit like that about a child. I do. I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes when I'm sitting up here minding my own business, I think about fighting a pedophile. It makes me feel good to think about I could just walk up and just dome check a hoe or bust a dude dead in his fucking face. Like it's something that really gives me off, like thinking about them being beat up. Like I love the thought. And sometimes I'm stressed out. I'm like, damn, I really need to get a stress release. I should just rock some dude's shit for being inappropriate. That would make me feel good. And I know y'all probably thinking, damn, AWB, you need to get some counseling. I probably do. But when I see the stories in my job and when I see stories that I hear from people who book consultations, it make me want to fuck them up. I'm finna keep it 100 pennies with you. I do. It makes me angry because I remember what it feels like to be an unprotected child. And I know there's a lot of children out there unprotected. And the reason why they're unprotected is because the adults around them are not protecting them. And I will forever be that adult that I needed when I was a kid. And that's why I do what the fuck I do. So if anybody got a problem with it and shit, since we talking about it, let's talk about Diddy bitch ass. Watching this trial and looking at some of the people's responses in the comment section makes me see exactly why kids don't come forward. Because you ought to know this, when you're sitting up watching this and you're discrediting the victims, and this goes for R. Kelly as well, that your kid is hearing this shit. So if they're ever being, somebody's being inappropriate with them, they're not going to come fucking tell you shit because they know how you stand. Same shit happened to me. We have a family pedophile in my family, and I forever say his bitch ass name, Clarence Lampkin Jr. This motherfucker went into custody several times for being inappropriate with children. And I overheard adults in my family said, oh, that 15-year-old girl gave it to him. She wasn't nothing but a little hoe. And he had been inappropriate with me and others, but I never said shit to nobody because I saw how they was responding. Y'all see my point? Protect these goddamn kids at all costs. Oh, thank you, hood mistress, for what you saying, baby. With some mamas about their daughters calling them fast for growing up naturally. I was one of them kids, honey. I had some titties on me when I was, I think they started growing at like 9. So by the time I was like 14, I had some, I was just existing and got called fast. I'm 6 feet tall. I'm tall. I got my height from my dad. And I ended up getting called fast just for existing. Make that make sense. But yeah, ain't nobody clicking in. So I guess we just gonna have to end this live early because y'all is not clicking the link. Or am I doing it wrong? I hope I ain't did it wrong. Somebody tell me if I'm doing it wrong. I hope I gave y'all the right link. Hold on, let me see. I'm sorry about this, y'all. You do it normally by this time. We have a whole back room like filled up. Like literally, maybe this topic is too, sensitive, and I get it. I promise you I get it. I promise you I get it. It is not easy talking about a toxic ass mother or being a mother saying how you wish that you could have done better with your kids. And the women who say they wish they could do better or admitting that they haven't been their best, but they're working on it. I have so much respect for you. Oh, I have somebody in the back. I'm going to let you up, baby. I'm going to let you up in a second. Hold on. And let me say this. Thank you guys for coming up. Thank you. Now we're populating. I have so much respect for y'all who admit you're not perfect, but you're working on it versus the mother who owns her shit and rests in her toxicity and is committed not to changing. Ooh. Cocat baby. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi, baby. How you doing?
I'm sorry, but I can't see if I'm on or not. Are you talking to me, Coco T?
I am. You are on. Welcome.
Hi, I'm honored to be on the line with you. How's it going? I just managed to catch the live.
All is well, baby. All is well.
Good. This topic happened to come at the right time. Um, I was just told recently, I want to say maybe earlier this week, I was just told something in confidence from my niece about another niece being touched inappropriately by my nephew. And these
Oh,
aren't my nieces and nephew; they're actually my cousins. But because there's such an age gap, I we called you just call each other auntie and uncles. But she had to been maybe like middle high school. I want to say maybe like 9 or 10th grade, or probably late junior high school. And he was probably in high school, more than old enough to know. This happened when he was a teenager. He touched my niece inappropriately. And I'm not supposed to know that because it was told to me by somebody else who it was told to her in confidence.
mm,
But I'm so disappointed in my nephew. I'm disappointed. I'm angry. And
mm.
I really, really, really want to hurt him. Like I really, truly want to hurt him. And I'm kind of struggling because he's had his own issues like with addiction. He's gone to jail. He was abandoned by his mother and father, and he had a very, very tough childhood too.
There you
But
go.
I
There's
just
there's
can't
the
excuse
answer.
that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know how to handle it because there's a part of me that feels like maybe this happened to him.
Yeah, usually people usually kids that uh abuse other kids or just other people, it's learned behavior, right? So yeah, most likely he had that done to him. Most likely. So let's see. What's his name?
His name is Sonny.
Alright. So I'm curious to see if that happened to him. Just I mean, I'm not condoning the behaviors, but for those who don't know, most of you guys know, I am an MFT, marriage and family therapist. That's what I
Mhm.
do. I'm a therapist during the day, wish during the night. All right. So that's very important. I'm big on mental health, obviously. And
And for those who don't know, I'm an investigator during the day for crimes against kids, and I'm a witch at night and a
Yeah,
child
today,
protector 24 motherfucking 7. Child protector, baby.
I've
I
been down
digress.
with AWB and Teresa for many years, so I'm aware that you guys are like the ass kicker for children's.
all right. So he felt very stuck. All right. So he's he gets the hangman right away. So that gives me if the hangman is it's a very very fucked up energy to be in because you're stuck.
Hmm.
He's just stuck in his life at the moment. He feels
Yeah, he's
stuck. He
actually right
has.
now he's like he goes in and out of jail,
Mhm,
and he's in a rehabilitation program, which I'm proud of him for. Like this, like I feel so conflicted because there's so much that I'm proud of him for. But once I
mhm.
heard that, I was just like, what the fuck? Like I really truly want to hurt him. Like I'm so angry at him.
Yeah, he's ending cycles in his life. He's been a little bit sick. His life choices have not been. I mean, he's a page of wands, very impulsive, very nonchalant, very sexual, very promiscuous behaviors, risky
He has three
behaviors as
children.
well.
He doesn't have custody of any of them. Like I said, he's gone in
Mm,
and out of jail. When he was young, maybe around probably like 14 years old, he was taking pills, and
yeah.
he just, like I said, I have some compassion for him because I know what he experienced as a child. He was
Yeah, so
raised.
and Mel did it to him. So yeah, if you ever have the opportunity, he was touched by another male. Yeah, when I asked, so it's called learned behavior. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks that he did that. I'm not condoning his behavior, but he's gonna leave. He's gonna leave his past behind. I do see the Six of Swords there, and he's gonna look for better opportunities right around Sagittarius season, which is very fiery energy. He's a and energetically he comes across like a very old soul, and very he's just, I don't know if you notice this, but when when I when I'm getting my downloads, I see this person that's very immature and very impulsive. He's impulsive. He's very fucking impulsive. So he's very impulsive. He's not all there in the head. Maybe even a little bit of ADHD. I don't know if you're familiar with it because he seems not to be able to stay still. Have you noticed that? Almost like he's always like on the go, on the go, on the go, and then he sits still because he numbs his pain. For him, he has a lot of abandonment issues, a lot of things that have happened to him through his childhood, even neglect, abuse, physical abuse, a lot of physical abuse. I do see that, but even then, he struggles with his sexual identity. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Right? Yep. Did you get to hear me? Is she there?
Cocat, you there?
Me?
You, you
Oh
there,
no.
baby?
Oh,
Did we lose you? Hello?
oh no. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear you.
now I
We can hear
can.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, now we can
Yeah,
hear
I
you.
don't know. Somehow my connection is messed up.
It's okay. It happens. But did you get to hear what I said?
I did. I heard what you said, and I said I'm processing all of it. Like,
Oh,
because
okay.
it makes me angry at what he did, but I do have compassion because I know that by the time my grandparents were trying to figure things out with him, they were already so old and tired that they could do very little for him. And
Mm,
I feel like when my grandparents passed, they passed worried about him
Mm.
yeah.
because my grandparents raised us, and there's like I want to say there's probably like 20 between 25 to, I want to say like maybe like 19 to 20 years different. So by the time they came around, my grandparents were just too tired.
Right.
And I already had my own kid. I had my son when I was young. So I helped as much as I could, but I was 18 with my own kid. So where I could help, I did, but there's a lot that just fell through the cracks with them because my grandparents just weren't well and they were old.
Right. So,
I mean, I'm
And his
happy to hear that
mama,
he's getting himself to, his mother died.
his
But
daddy.
his father, they had their own issues. Like they were drug addicts. Um, I mean, they weren't bad people. They just were in addiction. She had already had several children that were in the system. They just were just they were just addicts, and my grandparents would just help wherever they could, but they just were tired. There's a lot of drug addiction, like in my family. Thank God I haven't done drugs, but there's like addiction issues. So everybody's kind of just doing their best, but holding on to things with kind of like white knuckles.
so he is trying. He's looking at choices too, but he feels very heavy-hearted in the heart. But he
Hmm.
has everything to make it happen. He's very immature at times with the Knight of Swords there, but he has everything to make it happen.
I hope so. I feel like this is his. I don't know. It just feels like maybe this go around in the rehab, maybe this will help him.
Mm.
Um, but he's been doing drugs at a very young age, like hard drugs.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's what tell that's a hint though, right?
Yeah.
Anytime we use some type of substance, it's usually when you see it and such a young age, they're numbing some type of trauma feeling, right? Because kids cannot regulate their emotions. So they're
Hmm.
often very dysregulated, right? A lot
Hmm.
of racing thoughts, mental distortion, suicidal ideation. I could go on and on and on, right?
And
So
he
when
came
that
from an
happens, the first
addicted
thing, and
family,
then
like both of
energetically, I'm
them.
gonna just I hate doing this sometimes. Well, I don't hate it, but I just don't want to give the wrong message. So when I mix spirituality with psychology, it's fun for me and it comes out naturally because I understand the psychological version of it, the therapeutic
Mhm.
version, and the energy. I just don't want to confuse anybody. So I find myself repeating, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to you know
No,
to
I get
ask.
it.
But going back to him and numbing his pain with pills, obviously those are
like
Fuck
Percocet
pills.
pills, hard pills.
Yeah. What was it, Xanax or what?
He was doing anything, but
Anything.
like
So
I
he.
said, he comes from addiction. Like his mother, I don't want to say these things because it sounds horrible, but I just want to be honest with you. She did her best. She wasn't a bad person. As you said, her addiction was very heavy. She did like crack. She was like an alcoholic. Her father was an alcoholic. So that's kind of like in the bloodline. And then on my side, my uncle was his father and he was drinking and he was also doing drugs too. So both parents were
Yeah, so
doing drugs.
every yeah for so now we have a lot of the answers we wondering. See, even if you go ahead and create a genogram, right? I do that with adult clients in a therapeutic setting because we want to see where does the addiction come from, right? We want to see the history of addiction. In this case, is generational addiction, right? And this
Hmm.
pat, I mean, for all of you guys that don't know, most likely, if your your grandmother was an alcoholic or your grandfather, whatever side, most like it, one of the offsprings will become an alcoholic or have
Hmm.
alcohol problems. It's just genetics. It's fucked up. But also generational trauma. There you go. Some people call it curses. I love to call it trauma. We are not,
Yeah.
because, you know, as 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 a family unit, healing is very important, including addictions,
Hmm.
including past abuse, and yes, he's trying. Is it gonna be hard for him? Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Is he gonna be
Yeah.
okay? He is not quite there yet, but he will towards the end of the see, and he's healing from losses. All
Hmm.
right.
Yeah. Because he
So
lost
he did
both
the
my
Five of
grandparents and
Pentacles
his
at the
mom.
conference.
So
Yeah,
he
and then
doesn't have like I feel like he feels like he doesn't have anybody, like he doesn't have like a nurturer around him because my grandmother was there, his mother was there, and those both of those women passed away. His mother passed first, and then my grandmother passed afterwards. But and then my grandfather, they tried, but like I said, they were just too old. They were already in their 70s. Trying to
right.
raise teenagers was like it just was too much.
Yeah, and in a lot of, and you notice historically, well, a lot of families, our grandparents end up with the kids, right?
Hmm.
They end up raising their grandchildren, and it's all jacked up, right?
Yeah, and they raised us.
And
My
yeah,
grandparents raised me.
yeah, we see that. I mean, me and Tiffany saw it at the group home, right, Tiff? The grandparents came, they went to the
Yep.
CFTs. They don't know what to do with these children. The pain is too much. They blame themselves because shit, what did I do wrong with my dumbass daughter, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, that's what, and they blame themselves. They, instead of healing, right? People either play, this is what I noticed with a lot of family members working with families, pointing fingers, you know, for all my colleagues, therapists out there, I feel for you guys, especially if you do a lot of family therapy. You point fingers out, right? You sit down with their mom, the child, or whatever, and especially when addiction. Oh, I didn't teach him how to do that. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't do da 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 da. But who else? Who did he witness drinking? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they disclose, oh, the father was abusive. But I left that, and but yet you're sitting here telling me as a therapist that your ex-husband drank in the household. That's how this kid learned how to numb his fucking stressors, or how to
Mm-hmm.
because the alcohol, he didn't learn how to deal with his emotions the healthy way, and that's when and it starts in as far as toddler.
Mm-hmm. I
we
feel like
teach
it
we
sometimes
have
it even starts in the womb. Like if
Yeah,
the mother is like a toxic soup of it, like it almost feels like how can the mother bring something healthy when she is like unhealthy? You know what I mean? Like she had her own issues and she had a lot of guilt about leaving her other children in foster care. She already had 3 children in foster care already.
right.
So as much as
Imagine
she tried,
everyone in the system. I mean, I know about a story that I think the kid was left at in the house for 7 days in a hotel. His mom was an addict,
Mm.
and he happened to ring his grandfather from Vegas, say, "Hey, I haven't seen my mom in 7 days, and I'm very hungry." Who the fuck does that to a child? I just had to bring it out because I just had a
Yeah.
flashback.
Hmm.
Who does that's a whole freaking baby in a hotel,
Yeah.
and going back to your to to this young man, he lost his parents. His parents were addicts. He lost his the only emotional support system that he had, his grandparents. And he just went into this cycle, right? Because you got to realize, not you realize when and it's important, if I was, shit, I don't say that grandparents can't raise their kids, but at one point, if they are very elderly, they are not able to really pay attention to the kids the way that they're supposed to. I'm not trying to diss anybody's
Yeah. They
parents
just
or
don't have. They're not. They're
the
physically
energy,
unable.
right? They have
Hmm.
the intention, but technically they don't have it. They
Hmm.
can't be responsible for a whole fucking teenager. It's
Hmm.
like I have a fucking teenager at home. Shit, and a fucking cat. Not just kidding. And it's I would doubt if maybe her grandma could put her to rest there, smack her a little bit, but not her grandpa. He's too old, he's an elderly
Yeah.
man. But
Yeah.
other than that, and I don't have parents anymore. So
Hmm.
with that being said, we
Hmm.
got Tiffany.
And her, as you
Yeah.
call her, badass cats.
Yeah,
But can
no,
I
no,
ask you? Is
nobody
it too
goes
late
through
to ask
Tiffany
another
shit.
question?
Go ahead,
Hmm.
baby. Away.
I wanted to ask a question. Last time I spoke to you guys, at that time, and I still have the recording.
Hmm.
I had broken up with a ex of mine, and I was really, really hurt. So I wanted to let you guys know that it was hurt. It was painful what I heard, but I knew it was true, and it gave me peace because
Right.
it made me feel like I didn't have to like clean up my words, and I didn't have to have compassion for him. That it was okay that I was angry. It was okay that I was frustrated or that my mind was racing. So I want to thank you ladies for supporting me through that. And as hurtful as it was, I felt like it was needed because those are the thoughts that I was already thinking. So it was, even though I didn't know for sure, but I felt intuitively that he was like, already on to the next one. Like he already had like one in the chamber already. So
Yeah.
now I'm not seeing anybody, which is fine. But I've been out of work for almost 2 years. I don't want to say 2 years because I don't want to jinx myself and say 2 years, but I've been out of work for a very, very long time, and I'm getting very frightened. I've sent my resume several places. I've taken different licenses for the finance industry, and I'm getting calls, but I'm not getting any commitment. Is there anything I can do, or money's getting a little tight?
Have you done road opener work?
The thing is, there was another woman that I was working with, and she was really great, but she told me that she saw that I was blocked because I didn't give an offering. And the person I was working with, she I saw her do the offering, like give the gift to, I think it was Legba. I saw her. She gave him a chicken at the crossroad, but maybe she was supposed to do something else. I don't know. I mean, this woman is wonderful,
How much
but
she charge you for this?
I think she charged me like $100 or something. Because she did a number of things for me. She did a crown.
Okay.
Like I said, this woman is wonderful. It's just that I can't always get to her. So I can't call her
Oh,
and
okay.
say, hey, did you do XYZ? So I'm not debating whether or not she did it. She's a very wonderful woman, very effective. I trust her completely. But I don't know
Okay.
if maybe there was something else that was supposed to be done.
So you will find a job, okay? It seems like you've been so energetically, you've been closing cycles yourself. And
Yes.
it's because you what I'm seeing here in my cards is that you spend time, you have, and I'm just gonna be completely blunt, all right, Miss Coco.
Hmm.
And for sure you don't mind. So you've been, and let me go backtrack from 2 years ago, even going back a five, because I do see a five. You've been spending you spend a lot of time with the wrong fucking people at the wrong time, and it put you
Hmm.
behind. You lost a lot of money, went through a lot
Hmm.
of fucking losses, and then your process of healing has been slower than usual. You
Hmm.
resonating?
Yes.
So with that being said, you're gonna have an opportunity of employment, and recently you really wanted something really bad and it broke your heart not to
Oh
get
yes.
it.
Yes. I was
And
angry. I was
yeah, and then
angry.
that disappointment is there. So it's
Yeah.
interesting to see that disappointment, but come into what I want to give you a time frame, because I you know it's important to know when. All right, come on, babies. When is this puppy gonna find? Oh, there you go. Oh, look at you. You're a queen of cups. But you're also sad as fuck, huh? Ha! Sorry. Oh, yeah, yeah. Tower moments. You've been through a lot of tower moments. Come on, guys. We know this history. We know. Give me a time frame. Time frame on her employment. All right. Four of Pentacles. Definitely work. And you're looking at July. June, July. All right.
It's funny you say that. Oh my God, Teresa. Oh my
Why?
God. That's when I was told. Like the person that I was talking to, he told me around that time. And I was like, and there's a part of me that wants to rush you, like, come on now. Like I'm hanging by a string here. But he told me
Yeah.
that. He told me that.
And remember that that you could have saved yourself $100. I'm just throwing it out there.
No,
And
that was
I'm
a
not.
while ago.
And again,
This was a few years ago she did this.
yeah, no, and then do your own rope. And I always tell people, I do cleansings. I help people. Especially when it comes to be feeling stuck. It's not always gonna. And energy changes, right? And I always tell people, do there's baths that you guys could do, spiritual
Mhm.
baths,
Mhm.
soaps that you could use. Tiffany
Mhm.
has it all in her botanica. And there's things that we could do ourselves, like road opener work, that
Mhm.
will help us, you know, if we,
But
because
how do I
there
give a
it's
gift? How do I say thank you afterwards? Cuz I will tell you that I did use what's the saint's name? And everybody say he's a trickster and you have to pay him with pound cake. Expedite,
it's
Saint
an
Expedite.
expedite.
Oh my God, when I tell you Saint Expedite, I'm like I'm getting so emotional right now, but I'm gonna tell you that man sat on my shoulder when I was taking my Series 66. I said, "Come on now, don't play games with me." I said, just like that. I was like, I said, "Come on now. You said you was never gonna leave me. Come on now." I said, "I don't understand what's going on." I said, "I'm scared. I'm scared." And I just felt like I don't remember like maybe like the last 20 minutes of the test, but I knew that when I pressed the end, I knew I passed because I had really prayed and I did it. And I said, "Come on now. You told me you was gonna be here." And I'm telling you, when I pressed end and it said pass, I just knew it. I just absolutely knew it. I just knew it.
I
I
love it.
just knew it. I'm telling you, I just knew it.
Yeah, and it's and whoever s- saint you work with, or other spiritual, I can't say the freaking word for the love of God, Tiffany.
Which
And you get
one?
the dentity. Is that it?
It's
That
deity.
TNT. All right, Tiffany, teach me some English here on like the. I can't say it. Shit. All right. Uh, the whatever you understand. Whoever you work with, it's it's good to always give them your offering. I always tell people it's funny that I'm thinking about this right now. I have a young lady that works with a Santa Muerte, right? And she's one of my kids too. And she calls me mama, and she's in her spiritual journal, a journey and journal. I'm all thinking about coping skills, sorry. uh in her spiritual journey, and I always remind her, you working with her, she's very jealous. Anybody who worked with her, they should know that. And she does expect her beard and her stuff, right?
Hmm.
Her
Oh, I gave it to
cigars,
him immediately.
You
yeah.
did?
Immediately.
So after
Okay,
she,
good.
yeah, don't ever wait on that. And if
No,
and if
immediately.
you always, and it's even with your altar, I know I practice Santeria, and they're speaking of, I know they're mad right now because I haven't been doing a lot of offerings. Like
Hmm.
usually I give flowers or whatever, a piece of cake for her chun, something orange for like anybody who's working with her chun. She loves oranges,
Hmm.
and you have to like cut them 5 oranges in a plate, put a little
Hmm.
honey and cinnamon, and you gotta taste it before. Always taste. Anybody who gives Ochun any type of food like sweets, taste it first. All right.
Okay. I've
So
never thought to do that. I don't have an altar because I actually like I'm in a roommate situation. So I
Okay.
mm,
don't have one in my bedroom, and I don't want my roommate's cat, who's lovely, but he's a cat that knocks things down. So
yeah, my cat, she knocks her grandmother's turtle all the time. So yeah, they did knock shit out all the time. They don't give a fuck.
yeah, so I don't have like anything, but I do use Tiffany soap sometimes, and when I want to call my grandmother, but I also find that when I do something,
Sound went out. Is it my sound?
No, it's not your son.
is it me?
Oh,
Mhm.
there you go. You're back,
There you
baby.
go. You're
Yeah,
back.
I was saying that I feel like when I do something to like cleanse myself or to get closer, I feel like something in my dream comes to me. The last time I did something, I had a candle burning, a white candle burning, and I had in my dreams are very vivid. And in this dream, this person was trying to suffocate me.
Oh my god.
And it seems like whenever I do something to get closer or I cleanse myself, I do something in my dreams tries to hurt me. So I'm a little afraid to do things because even though I have control in my dream, it happens most of the times, and it happens so much so that if I wake up, I have to actually sit up in order to interrupt the dream, because if I change the dream, somehow I end up back in that same dream.
Do
So I
you
have to
ever
act.
do you ever
Mhm.
confront who it is that's trying to hurt you and stand on business?
No, because it happens very quickly. It's not like I'm getting into a fight with someone, but it'll this one happened to happen where the I was in an Uber, and the driver turned around and he tried to put like something over my face, almost like one of those rags with like a chemical on it to make me go to
Huh?
sleep. And
Mm.
in that dream, I was able to like fight him off. And what I do is I click my head to the side in order to wake up, and then I have to sit up so I know that the dream is over. But if I don't sit up and I lay back down, I can get back into that same dream, which doesn't really
Oh.
happen. So I'll sit up, and then I'll like go into the bathroom like to open my eyes to make sure I'm fully up.
That's interesting. So it could be two things. It could be the fact that you're subconsciously afraid of getting closer to your spirituality.
I am. I am.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So and because I mean again, I don't ask questions, but religion is a big factor, right?
Mhm.
The guilt, like, oh, I wasn't raised like this, I was
Mhm.
raised differently at
With a
church,
lot
Yes.
of
blah
guilt,
blah.
like
Yeah.
Christianity or
Yes.
Islam.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes. On
yeah.
both
So
ends, because my mom is a Muslim and I was raised by my Christian grandparents. But I
Yeah,
do know
see.
that there's a difference between the two. Like I do know that much. I do, and it's almost like I have two minds.
So, and that's why your dreams are coming. You're going through this awakening. You get like close to maybe doing a ritual, doing things like that, and then that guilt comes subconsciously. I will meditate before even starting a ritual. The next time you starting something like this, I would
Mhm.
meditate. I would cleanse myself with it's soap, the spiritual soaps, and just
Mhm.
take a shower and then go into it with an open heart and mind, and it's, obviously spirituality. It's amazing. Energy is amazing, right? There's nothing wrong with it. One of the things I
No.
wanted to mention during this live is like maybe there's gonna be another life with this, gifted kids, right? Let's normalize that, right? But
Mhm.
again, with you, that's what I'm seeing. Okay, is your subconscious, you fear, and it's completely normal for some. I call them new witches, new newbies. For
Mhm.
some newbies, and we literally see this a lot as spiritual. I don't know about you, Tiffany, but I noticed that people do have those nightmares spirituality when they're very close at church, when they were very close to church.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Mhm.
that that is completely the normal. Well, not
Mhm.
normal, but I hate that you're having those nightmares. But you're not an evil person because you're magical. We always existed out there, right?
Yep.
Who did the kings call when they were in trouble?
Yeah. Mhm.
Right? The
Mhm.
witches,
Mhm.
us. So with that being said, let's normalize magic. Let's use it responsible. You can't be fucking up everybody in the world just because they stare
Mhm.
at you, mad dog you and shit.
Yeah.
No, those are normal mortal interactions that we need
Mhm.
to learn our lessons. Even as magical beings, sometimes we get fucked over and we didn't see it. It hurts
Mhm.
our psychic ego.
Yeah.
Let it
Mhm.
go. Keep it moving.
And that's how I knew that I was mature because my heart was so broken in my last relationship. I mean, I was
Mhm.
devastated. I was devastated, and I was like, I'm gonna fuck him up. Like, oh, he got something coming to him now. Like, I was ready.
You're like,
But
let me
I
put
said to
this
myself, I said,
motherfucker in a
no.
jar.
I
This
said, I'm
bitch is
not.
We've been
he
there.
will be feel he'll be yeah, and you know what? That's despair, right? Because we are, I've gotten a million broken hearts. We should be the queen of broken hearts, but at the end of the day, those are lessons that we need to take us
Yes,
closer to the person
yes,
that our the
yes,
universe wants for us, that our
yes.
ancestors are bringing. If
Mm-hmm.
we like switched our narrative and say, okay, my marriage didn't work out, he cheated, or he was just not the one, he was a narcissist. Well, maybe just maybe it's not a maybe, the universe wants me to like switch, turn on the light bulb and say, oh shit, I'm worthy of love and respect
Mm-hmm.
and commitment. And when
Mm-hmm.
it's not fucking there and that motherfucker cheats like a fucking hoe, then you need to respect yourself, love yourself,
Mm-hmm.
first,
Mm-hmm.
and then walk away. And know that we are tempted, and we are, because we spiritual, to fuck
Mm-hmm.
the motherfucker up. But
Mm-hmm.
believe me, I again, let's remember, we don't walk by ourselves. We have our ancestors who protect us. You know, I was watching the other night this TikToker, and he's always, and he's like, your payday is coming. Everybody has a payday, right? Everyone. Oh, and some of them with overtime, because you've been doing a lot of harm to others. You got a big
Mm-hmm.
fucking check coming, full of
Mm-hmm.
karma. It's called
Mm-hmm.
karma check. So everyone has that payday, meaning that fucking, you're gonna pay your debt. You're not leaving
Mm-hmm.
this earth without paying it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to do to others what you don't want,
Done to
to,
you. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I
So
did. It
so
made
you,
me
we
look
just
at
gotta
myself.
remember and be very careful, because some of us are very impulsive, and some of us will, and our mom, especially some spiritual people, they just fucking be manifesting shit and it comes to pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
I seen those motherfuckers too. Be like, I hope that bitch loses her job. Next thing you
Oh
know, poor
God.
poor
Oh man.
lady lost
In
her
my head, I
job and
said, "Oh
shit,
my God, I
right?
can't wait. This is gonna happen." And then I said, you know what? I had to be real with myself and realize that a lot of the stuff that I felt like when we ended, it would have been romantic and it would have fed my ego to believe that, oh, his whole life just crumbled. And it wasn't the case. He thrived. And that's the honest truth. He completely thrived. And he thrived for a number of reasons. He thrived because I put a lot of energy into him, but I didn't put that energy into him because, oh, I'm such a great person or whatever. Part of it was like I wanted to win him over. I wanted to be worthy of him. I wanted to be deserving of him. And that's the truth too. That's the
But
truth too.
and again, it's you're already worth it. Nothing's wrong with you. And that's what many and then and let's link it to our life today. And that's something that we get into these fucked up situationships, relationships, whatever you want to call it, wanting to be picked. You know, you
Yes,
just
yes,
you wanted to
yes.
be picked so bad. And again, you it's go back to childhood trauma because your parents probably or your family didn't pick you. They didn't validate your simple things like validating that A that you got in the test, people ignore it. Oh, okay, or whatever happened, right?
Mhm,
Not validation, not feeling validated. So as
mhm.
mothers, because we are not validated as children, sometimes we look for fucking validation in our kids, where that's not their
Yes,
fucking job to babysit us,
true,
right? and
true.
and then and then we look for validation in men, and then we bring these men to our homes, to our energy, and they end
Mhm,
up hurting our children by maybe neglecting them,
mhm,
mentally abusing them,
mhm,
physically abusing them,
mhm.
abusing us in front of
Yeah.
our children. That's all
Mhm,
fucking trauma that these kids now have to carry around.
mhm. And you know,
So
like sometimes if the issue, my issue is that because it wasn't like big and bad. The small things weren't like I almost felt like, well, it's not horrible. Like I compared it to awful situations. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to start saying all these terrible things about him because he wasn't horrible. He just wasn't for me. But I feel like he taught me a lot about myself, about being honest with myself, and also knowing that because I prayed for a man like him, but I also know that my prayer was incomplete because when I asked for a man like him, I just asked, oh, that he's loyal to me, that he's committed to me, that he's monogamous, I was asking for all the things I didn't have in my last relationship. But what I didn't ask for is a commitment, a man who was committed. He was monogamous, not realizing that monogamy and commitment are two different things.
right. So this is what I want you to work on, even in spiritual, even if I was your therapist, all right?
Hmm.
I want you to really work hard as a spiritual person into, oh, I want this, like let's do, like let me put my therapist hat. Write down your non-negotiables in a relationship. All
Hmm.
right? Like some women, and there's nothing wrong with it, or men won't fucking date anybody that they don't like socially or economic match their energy, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, they
Hmm.
won't date someone who makes less than them because
Hmm.
they're looking at their assets. They want
Hmm.
to get married. Can you take care of me if I die? Blah blah blah. That's their
Hmm.
business, but that's their non-negotiable. That's not
Hmm.
being a bitch. That's not being a dick.
Yeah.
To each his
Hmm.
own. So write down your non-negotiables. All right, what you're not gonna negotiate in a fucking relationship. What you're
Hmm.
not willing to fucking take. All right.
Hmm.
Number one, and that's number one. Number two, write all the things that you want in a male.
Hmm.
You just mentioned monogamy,
Hmm.
fucking, I don't know what else did
Commitment.
you mention? Yeah, that, blah, blah, and go through the list, all right? But
Hmm.
also remember that commitment, right? But be committed to yourself. How about
Yeah.
picking yourself first? And
Yeah.
let me tell you, once you pick yourself and you work on your self-care, self-love, and I need to work on that shit too. I'm not talking out of my ass. I have to practice what I preach, right? Because I know the challenges that once we start falling in love, because that's why we have tormentous relationships, because we want to fucking be picked all the time, that we
Hmm.
choose we because we're not really emotionally available. Think about it. We depressed bitches, we have severe anxiety and trauma, and we want to fucking date. Does that fucking make sense?
Hmm.
No. So all that, it's energetically. It's energy. And we
Hmm.
project, and that's what we fucking attract. Fucking unavailable people like us. Unavailable to ourselves. So if we make ourselves available to ourselves, meaning complete healing, eating
Hmm.
healthier, going
Yes.
to
Yes.
exercise. My fat
Yes.
ass needs to do that more often.
Yes. I'm doing that now.
Stop numbing our pain with fucking sex or drugs or
A
alcohol or
distraction.
all kinds of shit.
Distraction. Hmm.
Yeah. And putting work on ourselves, then we're gonna find that someone that's gonna put that work to make a connection work. All right. Because it's two-way. You can't be Captain Save a Hoe, number one. Number two, you have to really be committed to yourself if you want to
Yes.
find that committed male.
Yeah.
Easy. You don't need no fucking love ritual unless you want to work on more self love. And I
Hmm.
always go back to
That's
people.
all I
It
do on
has to be
myself is a self.
justified, right? It has to be justified. But
Hmm.
at the end of the day, work within you, your own spirit, your own healing. And believe
Hmm.
me, change your narrative and things start happening.
I believe that.
Yeah.
And I again, ladies, I'm sure I took up a lot of your time, and I'm sorry for anybody else who might
It's
be
okay.
backstage or what have you. But I thank you. I thank you so much. I didn't even plan on getting on this live. I just happened to go on YouTube. I didn't even get a notice, and I saw it. I'm like, is this old? So I'm
It
glad
was
you
meant
ladies
to
made the
be.
time for
So,
me.
no,
Thank you
thank you
so
for
much.
coming. All
Thank you,
right.
thank you, thank you. I hope I can see the live because for some reason I can't chat. I can't put in any messages. I just happen to see you guys.
Oh, okay. Well, take
So
care of
thank you
yourself, Miss
so
Coco.
much. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay. Oh, hold on. I can't hear nothing. Mm, can y'all hear me? Cause I can't hear y'all.
I could hear you.
Okay, now I can hear you. Okay, okay. Sorry, this cat is all over my stuff. It's my new adopted cat from the street.
Oh,
Mm.
is he? Oh, look,
Yeah,
cutie pie.
right.
Yeah.
All over the hair everywhere. Anyways, hi y'all. I was just coming on here. I had a lot of stuff just happen recently, right? Because since we
Mm,
my mom's, um, let's talk about healing real quick because I need it. Um, it's hard being a mom.
right.
It's hard being a mom, and I didn't understand how hard it was until I became a mom, and I had to do this shit by myself.
Right.
But doing this helped me gain a better understanding of my mother, right? And my mom went through a lot. She had to deal with a lot, and there was some trauma back then between me and my mother that it took a lot for me to get over. It was really hard for me to get over it because I couldn't get what I needed from her in order for me to move past it. I had to I had to do all of that by myself. And that was not easy, but I had to come to terms and accept the fact that it's also not easy for her to stand in her fault and accept the fact that that's something that she did to me and at first I was pissed off, you know. I was just mad. I was angry all the time. I was just like, how could you do this to your child? How could you be like this as a mother? Why would you be like that? um but then I learned that during the incident, she was going through postpartum depression.
Mm,
And back then that wasn't something that was talked about a lot, right? So
right.
she didn't necessarily
Yeah.
help for it. uh Basically what happened, and this was my biggest hurdle with my mama. What happened was I have everything from a first to a third degree burn, and nobody ever told me what happened. Nobody ever told me um nothing. I never knew nothing about it. I honestly thought that I was just born like that, and that was just something that I had to just live with, you know, until I started doing some digging, researching, seeing what's really going on. And then like every time I would ask my parents, I would ask my dad. My dad would be like, "I'm still mad at your mom about it. Go ask your mom." My mom would just completely shut down, and my mom just still to this day she can't talk about it at all. It still
So,
to this.
They never told you what happened to you and how you got burned, baby?
No, I had to figure it out on my own. Like I had to go get my own medical records and read them to find out what happened to me, because everybody
Wow.
else was either saying, "Oh, you need to go talk to your parents about it," or they were basically trying to spin the story to pin me against my parents type situation,
Mm.
right? So it was
Okay.
crazy.
If you don't mind me asking, and if it's none of my business, I will respect your privacy. But what happened? Was
Oh,
it you said
I was
first or
gonna say,
third?
I was gonna tell you. So, basically, what I found out is that when I was 19 months old, my mother had just came home from giving birth to my brother. I was still in diapers, and apparently, I took my diaper off and was just playing in my poop, cause
Oh.
Babies do that.
um, but my mom in that moment she must have snapped, and it must have hit her real hard in that moment, because on one report it said that when the EMTs arrived on the scene, she seemed like she was out of it, like she wasn't there, but it didn't seem like she was on drugs. They just said it seemed like she couldn't comprehend, but she could hold a half a conversation, is the way that they put it. But when we got to the hospital, she snapped out of whatever it was that she was going through, and then she was able to tell the nurses at the hospital that basically when she found me playing with my diaper, she snatched me up, put me under the faucet, and just turned the water on, not realizing which faucet she turned on,
Oh my God.
and held me under the faucet until my skin began to peel. That's when she removed me from the water, turned the hot water off, turned the cold water on, and left me in the tub. The crazy part about it is that I remember holding two popsicles in my hand, and I was still kind of sobbing, but I was not full on crying. Like I remember that specifically. And when I brought it up to my mom, she said, I don't know how you remember that when you was only 19 months old when that happened. But even me bringing up that much of a detail to her, she still couldn't actually talk about the situation in itself.
Mm.
So I had to find out through a third party that at that point, my parents weren't together, and my mom just came home from having my brother, and she was watching me, my older sister, and she had her sister's child. So she just had a lot going on. It was just a lot. It was a lot.
Okay.
But
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, baby girl.
no, go ahead.
How is your relationship with your mother now? Or first, how was it coming up, and now how is it now?
At first coming up, I didn't have the best relationship with either one of my parents. But now, uh, my mom is damn near my best friend. Even though she still can't talk about that situation in itself, uh, me and her are still very close, because again, I had to just accept the fact that in that moment she wasn't in her right state of mind, and she was going through postpartum depression. She was not medicated. She did serve her time. She went through everything that she had to go through. All of the kids were removed from the home, and she did what she had to do to get us back. Um, I also had to find out that she is a felon because of that incident. So, but the healing process is what I wanted to touch on, because the healing process was crazy. The anger and the resentment, and the fact that I didn't know that relationship between me and my mother would affect the relationship that I was going to have with me and my kids.
Absolutely.
Right?
Mhm.
I didn't know it affected the relationship with my kids the way as much as it did. that's what caught me off guard, right? So I realized that I started to have like a short temper with my children, which was honestly not even necessary because my kids are very well mannered, very well behaved. Um, but I had to go through that healing process. It was therapy. It was meeting Mama Tiff up here. It was talking to Teresa and listening to hard facts of life. Okay. It was talking with Nana and having our moments. It was hard. It was dark. It was heavy. It was scary. It was emotional. It was depressing. It was
Not easy, huh?
at all. At all. It was not easy. But with a lot of hard work and focus and assistance and working with my ancestors, now her mother is coming through for me.
Mm.
And her mother passed after I had my oldest daughter.
Okay.
And me and her share a middle name. And I also gave that middle name to my oldest child.
Okay.
But now her mom is coming through for me. Now that I've worked through all of this. And it's a beautiful thing. And I'm not really up here to get no reading or nothing, but I just wanted y'all to know, like, that healing process, it's scary and it's dark and it's heavy and it's hard.
And thank you for sharing, because people sometimes, because they don't want to sit there, and sometimes we just got to sit with our pain. Well, not sometimes, we have to sit our asses with the pain, right? And once we stop numbing and stop, like, stop fucking it away, stop using drugs or alcohol or any type of like food, you know,
Yeah.
anything that would distract you or numb your pain. That's when the real healing starts, right? When you sit
Mhm.
there, that's the first step. You gotta sit there with the pain, sister, and and use your support system, your spiritual sisters, your, spirituality. That's part of your healing journey. Then, like you said, therapy always works. I'm a therapist, right? I'm a big fan of therapy. But I think that all those tools together, and really sitting with oneself, and remember that we're gonna even when we think that we healed, a trigger might pop up, but now you have the tools to say, I'm not gonna let this shit take, I'm not going down like a fucking sucker.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
but thank you for sharing and being vulnerable. And I know, and your story is a successful story, right? For
Mhm.
other people that are struggling with healing, and the healing is fucking scary. I mean, we don't fucking wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, we're gonna heal today." No, now we think about it for a long time. Some of us thought about it for years and shit,
Yeah.
until, and that's what I tell other people as a therapist. You would not. I would just meet the client where they're at. This, I mean, I'm all into motivational interview, and I'm all into motivation. I could interview you. I could motivate the fuck out of you like 100 fucking candles, a million road openers. But if you're not ready there spiritually, nothing's gonna open. You gotta do the
Yep.
work too. You don't
That
wake up and say, "Oh, let my ancestors or whoever I'm working with, La Santa Muerte or Shun Shango, Elewa, do the job." No, we're not doing that. It's called. It's not Burger King. Have it your way, sister.
no fact.
Right?
No fact. But
Yeah. No, it's not. Shit. That shit is painful.
yeah,
So
it
yeah.
it is very painful. But
Yeah.
going through all of that and being a mom myself and seeing the relationship that I have with my kids was part of my healing process. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I looked at my kids and I was like, I'm going to treat y'all how I wish my mother
Yes.
would have treated me.
Ooh.
I'm going to
A drink to that.
stand on 10 when it comes to y'all, and I'm not finna play about it. And that's just gonna be that. You know?
Right.
Did I
Yeah.
did I fuck up here and there? Did I make mistakes? Did I say things where, I might feel guilty about it? I might still play over some of it still to this day. Yes. Cuz that's just what comes with the job, right? That's what it is. But yeah, I was like, no, I cannot repeat history. History has been repeated enough. We got
Yeah, it's called generational trauma, right? So you started doing that change, and now
yeah,
you see the difference.
yeah.
I don't raise my kid as half of the way that my mom raised me. There's still things that I do the same thing as my mom. I still scream, you
Mm,
know, and I don't know if that will ever, because my mom had it first. She called me Teresa, Tere, right? She went from Tere, Tere, and then Teresa, and then I ignored her ass most of the time. Rest in peace, my mama. And then she'll start screaming. And earlier, that's exactly what I did with my daughter. And then she showed up. Because
mm,
the little things like that we still do, right?
yep.
But I shouldn't
Yep.
be calling. She was over there
Shit, I'll
start.
scream at your ass too. If I called you, I'm your mama, and your ass
Yeah.
ignored me on purpose, you gonna
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when y'all get ready to talk about the trauma with fathers, let me know.
Oh, we
Hmm.
going live. Nina's gonna be our
'Cause
special guest that day because he's an amazing dad, and I want to usher that male energy in.
I,
Yeah. It's
I
important to also bring a male perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all have some type of dad trauma.
oh yeah.
And again, it affects as women. It affects our relation.
Well, I appreciate you, baby, for jumping in, and I always love to see your
Hmm.
beautiful face.
Hmm.
Other than that, I'm good, y'all. Even though I gotta have this conversation with my sister tomorrow. We can talk about that later.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. We love you, baby.
Love y'all. Bye.
Right.
Bye. All righty. I swear there's something she said that really resonated with me. There's a difference between being a mom who ain't perfect and a mama who ain't shit. There's a big ass difference. Trust me on that. I'm gonna have to expound on that a little later. Who do we have next? In this order, we got Yvonne. Okay, no, saved and sanctified, Yvonne, and Momo. Okay, so saved and sanctified. Oh, let's see. Hi, saved and sanctified.
Hello, hello, how are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Great, great. I've been watching you for a long, long time.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the support. Talk to us. How
And
can we help you tonight?
well, I'm dealing with somebody who is stalking me, but they're doing it spiritually. And I do my rituals myself, but this person is mentally unstable, you know?
You're being stalked.
Yeah, stalked, but the person is using spiritual means. So you cannot really go to the cops. I reported it to the cops. But what happens is the person is spiritual, so he knows, so he continuously changes up, so he can't, so it's very difficult to catch him. And he's trying to put love spells on me.
It's a
He's a
man
wife,
trying to put love spells on you.
exactly. Real crazy shit.
This is quite interesting, I see. Okay.
Yeah, and the thing is, if I wasn't spiritual, I would have been fucked up because I keep counteracting it. And he's tried to get like a group of people to do it, and he keep getting fucked up.
And you know who this dude is?
Yeah, he was at the job. He was at the job. And the job, they fucked up. They gave him my information. They all fucked up. This shit is like a damn Lifetime movie. My
Damn.
coworker is my stalker. This is some straight up crazy shit.
The way he said, I'm
And
sorry, sir. It's funny.
what you say?
Damn. Sorry to hear
That's
that.
great. Like I mean, this is a live about
What you say?
mothering wounds. Well, this is a live about mothering wounds, but damn, I mean, you have a male at your job that want to clap your cheeks, and he's using love spells and stuff. I mean, damn, that's crazy.
Hmm.
Now, have you ever dated this dude? Hello?
Yeah, this is buffering. Hello?
Savior Sacrifice, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It went out.
Okay, no worries. Is we that I guess StreamYard been having this issue all night, but have did you and this dude ever date?
Hell no. He's a crazy motherfucker. He as soon as he got on the bus, he was I was a trainer and he was one of the trainees. And as soon as he got on the bus, I picked up that there was something fucked up about his energy. So
Mm.
he was like, only one P Bray. He's a white male, gray ass white man. He's a pedophile. So
Oh,
he came up, only one P break. And I seen how he was looking at me and I could pick up his energy was fucked up. So the next day he came back from the training and he smelled like shit. So I
oh
said,
boy.
oh, okay, I said this motherfucker's doing trying to do some damn ritual or some shit like that, right? So the whole night, because when they do them type of rituals and you sit there, it's meshing with them. So I didn't have nothing to spray it. Basically, he like to do control magic. He like to do this shit to men. And I've been dealing with this motherfucker for over a year. If I
And does he
wasn't
be flirting with you and stuff? Like,
No, I only seen this motherfucker one time. This motherfucker trying to get me to marry him. He a sick motherfucker.
oh, well,
I
damn.
ain't had nothing to do with him. He like to work people.
And
He
this
like
is
to
why
work
I
men.
tweaked about. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, see,
Well, nobody. Mm.
if I wasn't spiritual, I would have been fucked up. And the thing is, he can't get past my protection, but he's a pain in the ass. He try to come in my dreams. He try to do all kinds of fuck shit. And he keep getting fucked up and he keep coming back. The more he get fucked up, the more he come back.
Okay.
He's stalking.
Therese.
Okay, so you from what I'm hearing is that you're well protected, right? What is that?
Saved and sanctified,
Mhm.
sir. Saved and sanctified. I guess he gone. I have no idea what the hell's going on, but that's horrible. I don't
Yeah.
know.
If he gets to review this live, continue with protection. I'm curious to know. He says that he only seen him once, but he wants to marry him. Who's telling? I didn't quite understand that. And he's
I
probably
mm.
he's a stalker, so that's
And he
very
smells
interesting.
like shit. Let's not leave that part out. Okay, moving right along. Yvonne, you are next, baby. Hi, Yvonne.
Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Teresa. Can you hear me?
We can hear
Yeah.
you just fine, baby. How you doing?
Yay. I am wonderful, wonderful. Good to speak to you guys.
Good to speak to
Um,
you too. Talk to us, baby. How can we help you today?
I am I know the topic is mother wounds. Um, I feel like I have come from a long line of I guess we'd say generational issues on with the mother. Um, I've had some issues with my mom. I know they're not really settled. Um, but my main concern, I am a mother of three, and I really would like to do better. Um, or how can I do better? Um, instead of letting the generation, I guess we would say generational issue linger on to my three. My main concern is my son. I have a younger son. He's 8. So I don't want to be cold. I guess I got the coldness from my mom, and I guess it's kind of lingering on. Um, I just want to know how I can be better. Because I know it is something generational going on as far as the mother. Mm.
Yeah. So just uh with that coldness there, it was because your mom was cold. She was also very avoidant. She had her own little trauma going. I'm not gonna say her own little trauma. I'm sorry, because she tends to exaggerate a lot. Your mom. I'm sorry about that.
It, yes.
So every time she catastrophized, I mean, he didn't even give me your mom's name, but even just her energy when I'm picking up is that she catastrophized a lot. She what means over exaggerates, right? And
Mhm.
then she
Mhm.
and then to cherry on top, she was very avoidant, right? So what
Mhm.
happened to your mom that she was ignored as a child? So she now, and maybe staying quiet was the best thing to do, And we see in that a historical trauma, right? Too. That's
Yeah.
why a lot of people from brown people, African American people, they we notice generation of staying quiet, right? Because the master was in charge. You're a slave. For us, our natives, we were fucking colonized and forced to leave our practices, everything, you name it, and forced to speak Spanish, right? Our language was taken, everything, our ancestors, right? And that's why generational, we see this generation pattern of families that along the way, they 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 became louder and louder and louder and speak out, but we still see the quietness. And old folks, have you noticed? Old folks don't scream.
Mhm.
You wonder why. So with that being said, how can you be better? Because you tend to be avoidant, and that's in every part of
Mhm.
your life. I'm not calling you out with all my respect, all right? So you avoid conflict a lot, or this
Mhm.
coldness to you, which you say, but you're also very avoidant. You don't like to talk about things, sit one on one. So with him being a male, it's important to teach him and to push yourself a little bit harder, even through therapy, and your spirituality is gonna help you, right? But
Mhm.
to sit one on one, because we want to teach him that to speak his feelings to you, to and for you to validate his emotions, right? And that it's okay to cry, even if he's a boy. Simple things like that. Because for with young men, we usually don't raise them like that, right? And especially
Mhm.
in some household, oh, you're a man, you don't cry, right?
Mhm.
Things like that. How can you be better? Continue to heal yourself. Get the help, right? And it's not like you're not a horrible mom. I want to remind you that you're a great mom, but because you're so afraid to end up like yours. I'm gonna keep it
Mhm.
real. Or the way they raise you, you
Mhm.
you you don't you need to be empathetic to yourself, because we all do mistakes. Okay.
Okay.
As far as you see, you're an empress. Okay,
Is there
go
any
for
way
it.
that you can, when you're dealing with your children, is there any way that you can treat them the way you needed to be treated and needed, like be what you needed as a child?
Well,
Parent them
now,
through that lens.
yes, I was just now thinking on it. I I was kind of alone. Like I was the baby, so I was kind of like I feel like I didn't raise myself, but I kind of was pushed around to a lot of people, and I just wasn't nurtured enough. I really feel that way. So that may be the thing. That's why I feel like it's maybe generational, of why it's kind of um the nurturing part is hard for me to kind of get it together because I've kind of got myself together. I feel growing up, kind of established my feelings on my own, so that I may be just looking at them the same way that I grew up and not realizing that I'm putting the same thing that I'm doing that happened to me is kind of happening to them now.
Yeah.
Now,
So you
let me ask
projecting.
you a question. Do you
Mhm.
fully love your children?
Yes, yes.
No, it's one thing to love them,
Mhm.
because people say they love their children, but I'm going to reiterate: do you fully love them?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I do.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
as you just told us, you still need healing, and obviously
Mhm.
you took care of yourself, right? So you
Mhm.
and that's the and usually is you said you were the youngest,
Yes, I'm a baby.
and we usually see that in the oldest one. right? The oldest one used to care
Mm,
for the kids, the smaller ones, and they usually have the older brother or sister syndrome where they want to be in fucking control of everything.
mm,
And that's why when they have their own family, the oldest one always fucking struggle with their relationship with their children. Most of it, they're not healed or know how to communicate effectively with
mm,
others. So we see this, especially in if you're the oldest one, we see them, and you see it right away. They want to control the whole fucking household.
mm,
For example, I'll give you a good example. You have a Christmas party or a birthday party. Those older folks, your older sister is gonna want to control everything or just talk shit if because she took care of you, treat you like you were her child
mm,
because they put that hat on as a mom and they never got to live their own life because they were fucking changing a diaper for a kid that was not even theirs, right? So we see
yeah.
that in a lot of generations, but we were raised to help our parents, to be there for our parents. But again, it's not our kids' responsibility to take care of our kids, their
Mm,
brothers or sisters. We cannot do that, right? So with
mm,
you, you love your children. I do see that spiritually as a psychic, and you feel this guiltness because they're like, shit, I'm too cold. I don't want that to. I don't want to continue to project that. So little things start. I always get, as a psychic, I would suggest also to spend more time with your children, introduce them to your life, right? Introduce
mm,
do small things, small thing. I have a teenager. I find it very hard sometimes to relate to her because I wasn't like her as a teenager, right?
mm,
She's very
mm,
girly. I wasn't. I was a tomboy. So sometimes we clash because of that, because she's a very girly girl, right?
mm,
And I'm sitting there like, I don't know how to fucking wear makeup. Shit, who you talking to? I don't wear makeup. It's simple. I don't do
mm,
it. But then she started to wear makeup here and there. And I'm like, at 14, and I'm looking at her like, she fucking crazy. But then I have to like change my narrative, even as a mom, and then as a witch, as a therapist also. I'm like, shit, let her be. I could only teach her and be there and validate her feelings, teach our kids from right from wrong, but let them be. And of course,
okay.
I'm not raising her halfway the way my mom did, because half the time she would have been kicked, her ass would have been whipped. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, don't
I
don't be
think
too hard on yourself.
the most important
Well,
thing is that you have to do the work yourself, to do your shadow work and to heal, so that you don't trauma dump into your children, and then they're
Yeah.
going to grow up fucked up. And the objective
mm-hmm,
always, and I heard a lot of parents say this, is to raise kids who don't need therapy.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? And I know that that's easier said than done. I know it is. I'm not even trying to say, well, this is what you need to do. No, hell no, I'm not doing that. But what I am saying is that you have to put in the work and be conscious. Just like somebody said, be extremely intentional in everything you do with your children. Give yourself grace and exercise patience. Understand basically that these are little humans that you're raising. They're blank slates into this realm.
mm-hmm,
There's
And
sponges
so,
too.
yeah, so you kind of got to be real good and intentional with the things that they're exposed to and what you allow and what you don't allow. And realize
Mm.
also, baby, that not everybody, friends, cousins, aunties, uncles, whatever, parent the same way you do. So a lot of the shit that goes on in they best friend's house, you not going for in yours.
mm-hmm,
I'll never forget when I was in school, some of my friends' parents let them cuss in front of them. They'd be like, "Hey, mom, guess what the
mm-hmm,
fuck happened at school?" I'm sitting up here like,
mm-mm,
and then at 14 and 15, some parents let they little girlfriends and boyfriends spend the night in the same bed in the room. Shit
I
like
will
that
have a
wasn't going
fucking heart
down.
attack.
No, but that's just, people have a different scope of parenting. But what a lot of parents don't understand is the way other people parent their household can affect yours if your kid is around that energy. It's all about energy,
okay.
you know? So they pick up on your energy when you come home from a really pissed off day and you angry as hell because you told these kids to clean up the house and you walk in on a goddamn tangent. There, you have to understand their age and their development. He's 8. Damn, okay, his room is messy. Redirect, but do it in a not in a way that's gonna cause him to have trauma. You understand my point?
I do. Yes, I understand. That's been at first I was really feeling like um their dad and I've been going through some trauma issues anyway of separation. So that's been kind of new. So I've been kind of parenting on my own. I've been parenting on my own in a different way, but really parenting on my own. I'm in the home with my mom. So that kind of puts a lot of things in the mix of what I kind of how I parent as well. With my mom kind of in the shadows of it, seeing what's going on and kind of helping out, just being a village herself. So I just noticed. At first I was feeling like maybe I was kind of taking things out on him more because I was going through something with his dad, but I know they all feel the separation of me not being with their dad right now. And I just been trying to, I guess, verbalize it more because I didn't have a voice growing up. So I've been trying to get them to speak and be more, just feel more comfortable to talk with me. Because like I said, we've been going through back and forth, back and forth. Um, so I know that was more of the thing. I just didn't want to make it seem like I'm being hard on him because of something that I'm going through with his dad. And I feel like his dad do a lot of projecting as well of his energy on the situation. Because some
And
things I
yeah,
don't, I don't
I
even think that.
understand that. When I
Mhm.
was coming up, and I totally get that. I totally when I was coming up, I can remember distinctly remember hearing the keys in the door or the garage door coming up or something like I knew one of my parents was home and that instantly put me on edge because whatever type
Mhm.
time they were on is what I had to deal with as the most powerless member of the family. The child
Mhm.
is the most powerless member of the family. So
Mhm.
whatever they had going on, whatever type of day they had is was going to be my reality because as black people, black brown people, people in this country, especially women, we are very unprotected and powerless when we leave our front door. We don't have protection.
Mhm.
Malcolm X said it best. Wow, the most powerless person on earth is the black woman. She is a rose that's expected to grow without being tended to. So
Mhm.
you come home, you have to just always remember to check your energy.
Okay.
That whatever day you had at work or at school or at the grocery store, whatever the case may be, the kids at home should not have to feel that wrath just because you had a bad day. And you always have to balance that. If you could keep that in your head and also
Mhm.
remember age and development. Kids at
Mhm.
different ages, development is different. One thing that fucking irritates my life, and I'm not talking about you, but I'm just talking about
Mhm.
period, is when parents have adult expectations or higher expectations on kids who aren't even at that developmental level yet.
Mhm.
Like you're screaming at your 2-year old and want to spank them because they wet themselves. Well, guess what? 2-year olds wet themselves. Or they boo-booed on themselves and now you want to whoop them like type not but parents do shit like that. Or you come home and the kid's room's not clean and now you want to scream, or your teenager fell asleep without washing dishes. But you just
Mhm.
want to have somebody, not you, but they, parents, some unhealed parents, just want to have somebody to beat up on verbally and physically sometimes because they're so powerless outside of their house that they need to feel like somebody. And the best way for them to do that is to step on the neck of the most powerless
Mhm.
person around them because they're so used to motherfuckers stepping on their neck outside the door. Men
Mhm.
have that bad. They'll come home and wreak havoc on the whole goddamn house, women and children, because when they go to work, they don't have no position of power. So I said all that to say this. The best way is for you to address your shadow self and to remember your energy and to remember their developmental level so that you can pour nothing but goodness and accountability and self-discipline into your children so that when they grow up they can be functioning positive members of society.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
You are welcome, baby. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to talk about while we have you up?
Um, sure. Real quick, I am, like I said, I'm in transition of, I guess we say, re rebuilding my life with my children, with me and my children.
Mm.
Um, I'm just trying to see. I know that I've been in a relationship with a narcissist. I've come just everything has just come to the forefront. He's been very controlling, financially. That's really how he plays it because I'm a stay-at-home mom right now. Trying to get in the work field. I'm just trying to get everything in open. Um, I guess the main question would be is how I can. I just want to maneuver better for those children. That is my main. That's what my advocate for them. I just want to maneuver better, um, for them, uh, financially. However, I just feel like I have a lot of setbacks. Maybe I may need to do some role opening. Um, I just feel like a lot of setback is coming from him as far as how he wants things to go. I've gotten away from him. I'm just trying to rebuild and see my next, I guess, the next step of my journey to make it for them. Like I just need to be better. One of the main reasons I say that is I want to start back working, but with me starting back working, that will put my mom into play with the kids a little bit more. That would be my village. My mom does drink. We do have that sort of issue. She's getting older as well, and she does drink. I just want to see how I can be more productive, let my mom village, and also generate money for myself so I don't have to be under so much control under their dad.
Now, what do you mean by drink? Is she like have a glass of wine or two in the evening, or she gets straight slizzard?
It's it's kind of hitting. She may go through a bottle a day, and maybe that's you know, and I could
Bottle of
tell it
what?
kind of. She drinks anything from Merlot to she likes something she's been drinking those the buzz balls and stuff. She
Oh,
likes
Oh damn! She needs to
and
stay away
she'll
from
drink,
that shit.
yeah, and she
Mhm.
go through that. And I know she'll do that daily. She used to send me to the store, but then that kind of keeps me. I can kind of monitor what she's drinking, so she try to does it on her own. So I'm not really keeping up with what she's drinking because I'm upstairs and she's in the basement now. So that kind of keeps the distance. I have had to help her get off the floor. She's broken a couple of things from falling, but um I don't know, since now she's in the basement, I haven't had too many issues. I don't know if it's just been more covered. I don't see exactly what she's doing, but I know she I smell it on her. So I know she does. And she will drink throughout the day, and I don't know if it's just kind of keep calm, and that's fine. I mean, I like to smoke, so I like that. That's the difference. I know everybody have their vice, so I just wanted to know as far as that. I just want to keep the kids
So,
kind of out of it.
so yeah, you were. I pulled out some cards for you as you were telling us. Uh, I do see that you were, ended this relationship. You moving on from this left you
Mhm,
really feeling heavy. He always made
mhm,
you feel so heavy. Like energetically heavy. Like that energy that you don't want to have around, and you're
mhm,
thinking. like with the Knight of Wands, you're thinking and looking at like up, you know, choices. The next 8 weeks are gonna be very powerful for you, even going into June, July. Okay,
Mhm.
about work and your plans, and you're gonna start feeling that East and Leo season. All right,
Okay.
with your mom. What's her name?
Zandra. Mhm.
Sandra needs to stop drinking. Just kidding.
Mhm. Oh, she do. She needs.
Just gonna. Your mom drinks because she feels like life was unfair for her.
Mhm.
No justice was served for her. Something to do with not. Yeah. See, again, again. She. It's like dealing with a teenager, huh? She's very mature.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. She's gonna go in her little hermit. She might cut the alcohol down as early as Virgo season. All right. And
Okay.
then she'll
Okay.
goes into more balanced self in October.
Okay.
Yeah. Hope that helps. She's funny.
Yeah.
Your mom's a
Very much.
character.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes. 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 That is correct.
Yeah.
I love her, and I do. I just know she has been through some things, so I know um it kind of,
Yeah.
and then also too, she kind of stays in it where she the hurt and the. So I just look at it that's why she holds on to it so much because she stays there in that place a little longer than what she's supposed to.
Yeah.
Um, and I kind of I'm spiritual, very very spiritual. She knows that as well. I want to help her, but then I kind of say I just would rather for her to say, hey, I need some help, but unless I need to do something in the sidelines, in the back, in the background that may
Right.
can help her.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She could work with an amethyst crystal. That's really
Yeah.
good with healing addictions.
Okay, and that's her birthstone.
No.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
we'll do that. I'll see if we'll definitely get her something, and I'm sure she has it with it being her birthstone. But okay, all right.
Thank you very
Well,
much for coming. I appreciate you.
no,
All right.
thank you, and I appreciate all your help. Thanks, Teresa. Thanks, Tiffany.
Bye,
Y'all have a
baby.
good
Bye-bye.
night.
You
All
too.
right.
All righty, Momo. How you doing, Momo?
Hello?
Hi.
Can you hear me perfectly clear?
Perfectly clear, baby. Talk to us. We're here for you. How may we help you?
Oh, I just had a question with like shadow work. How do I step into that process of healing? Like, do I have to go into meditation?
You can. That's an effective way to do it. I did it that way. But journaling actually really, really helped me. And working with crystals helped me, the tiger's eye, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
Okay.
Meditation is the one that guided me the most though. And there's different ways to do that. A lot of people seem to think, is that your background?
Mine?
Yeah.
What does it sound like?
I hear a bunch of clicking in the background, baby.
Oh, staticky? Okay.
No, 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 not static, just a bunch of clicking like you're moving around.
Oh, yeah, I am walking. I'm taking a walk in nature.
Oh,
Sorry,
it's
give me
okay.
a
You're
second.
good now. You're good now.
Okay.
Yes. A thing that helped me the most was going into meditation, and I
Okay.
asked spirit to show me my shadow self. So over the course of like maybe a few months, I started to see me for who I was and see and I got flashbacks of things that had happened to me and how it manifested and affected in my daily life. So I had to address that shit. Now I'm finna warn you, and there's no nice way to say it. Shadow work ain't easy.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one way to do it, and it's not no cookie cutter way to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
it's messy, and you might be crying and snotting all over the goddamn place, and it's painful, but it's necessary.
Okay. Sorry.
It's okay. We're here for you, baby. We're here for you. It's like dealing with something like having a surgery where you got to go through the healing process and the shit hurt. It
Mhm.
do. And depending on the type of surgery and a part of your body will depend on your pain level, you
Mhm.
know?
Right.
So it's not easy, honey. But one thing I do know, one thing I can tell you is if you have to address your shadow self by trauma that you have been experienced, you don't blame yourself and you don't stay there too long blaming you, resting in that energy. This is some shit that happened to you that you got to heal from and you're going to push forward. And that's the type of cape you need to wear.
Yes, auntie. Yes. Okay. Because
Okay.
I've been having, um, I have problems with my mom. I have
Mhm.
mommy issues, so it's
Mm.
kind of hard. I don't have a relationship with her. It's just like she's just there, you know. I mean,
How old are
we
you,
could.
sweetheart?
I'm 25.
Hey, you're young. You're young.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, do you live with your mommy?
Yes.
Okay, that's even worse. Oh, child, I'm thinking you me. Because me and my mom don't have the best relationship. We are very low and no contact. But that's because I made that decision after I was just done, you know?
Mm, yeah.
But I do remember being 25 and I do remember like I think I was like 23 or something living with her and it was very difficult because when you have a person that's committed to being toxic, and that's my situation with my mama.
Mhm.
Have you had a chance to talk to your mom and address some issues with her and see if she's receptive?
It's like she brushes me off, and sometimes I could feel her catch an attitude with me, and I tend to shut down because
Mm.
I wasn't taught to like stand up for myself, stick up for myself, and
Mm.
speak up when things is wrong. And
Mm.
it's like when I do speak out, I feel like I'm not being heard.
Yeah, because we're never taught to stick up for ourselves. See, sticking up for yourself means that you're being disrespectful.
Right.
Mm.
And she
Right.
does
So,
it. She
so
likes.
let me just like we board we have to as parents,
Mhm.
in my professional opinion or whatever, even as a psychic, we gotta make it put the medium where our kids, right? When do we discipline them, and we when is it's not good to shut them out. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
No, you're. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so the fact that you're not speaking out, or sometimes if you do, you feel like you're not being validated, is
Mhm.
because nobody validated her. And someone told your mom to stay quiet when she was young. She has a lot of childhood trauma herself. I don't know if you're aware of that. But with that being said, and then she comes out across like a very rigid, like a queen of swords, so very rigid mom, and it's all a facade because all she does is covers. It's almost like she covers her pain. I don't know how to explain it. And you're very emotional. What's your zodiac sign, by the way?
I'm the second most hated zodiac sign from Gemini. I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, you're a Scorpio. That's right. So
Yeah.
you're very, and you water, and you guys could reconstruct yourselves from the ground. That's being a Scorpio there, but in other words, I want you to focus in you and your own healing, and
Okay.
and there's a reason why you can't speak out, because that's the way you were raised, right? To stay quiet. And like Tiffany say, if we talk back to our parents, we being disrespectful, right?
Mhm.
Now, there's a
And
difference between talking back and letting a person know, hey, this is hurting me. What you did or what you're doing is hurting me.
Right.
Our
right,
parents believe that
and
that's
that's
talking back.
healthy. And that's healthy, right? But also, what I love to teach my parents, meaning when they come for me for family therapy, is like, when do you draw the line? You have to allow your children to tell you exactly how they feel. Well, let's put a scenario, right? My kid didn't clean her room, right?
Mhm.
Example. That's not even an example. It's probably true. Uh, she didn't clean the room, so now I'm gonna take her cell phone away because I don't play, right?
Right.
Meaning you're not gonna get your cell phone till your room is clean, because the cell phone is a privilege, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
until you get your ass up and clean your room, we're not gonna have that privilege because I pay for it. And I'm teaching her that cleaning her ass in her room is, we have parents, we teach you guys that, right? The big, like, basic life skills, we call it, right, Tiffany? Life
Right.
skills. We teach our children, and that's a form of discipline. Now, if she's gonna tell me, I don't like when you take my phone away, it makes me feel that you're punishing me, or I feel that you're taking your anger, you taking this too far, and then as a parent it clicks. Well, maybe if she cleans her room, taking her phone away for 3 days, really, that's a threat, right? Like, I take your shit, and then that's what we all do as parents, right? We take what they like, because people need. I don't like to beat up my kid, right? So I be taking shit away, boom, boom, and that's the way I discipline. I don't believe in corporal punishment, but I have to admit, sometimes they take you there. With that being said, if I shut her down because she's told me before, I don't feel that that's fair, and I say, well, I don't feel that it's fair that your room is all nasty, right? Or that you didn't do this at school. So
Yeah.
we both but you see, she told me I feel some kind of way, and I told her, and I feel some kind of way. How can we resolve this matter,
Right.
right? And your
One
mom is
person
not
who has
communicating
to
with
be
you. She should shut it
committed
down.
to doing so. Her mama not committed to doing so.
Yeah. So
Still
that's
walking
the hardest part.
with energy.
That's
Yeah.
so you need to build those boundaries. If I was you, you're 25, have those boundaries with your mom, where at that age with her, she's not, I don't feel like she's even open to healing. I don't know why I'm saying this, but well,
It
yeah, I'm a
seems like
psychic,
it because
right?
it's like she lacks accountability and she doesn't like to say that she's sorry, that she's in the wrong. So it's like, what is the point of me even talking to her?
Yeah, I'm
There's
so
no point.
sorry.
You just have to
Yeah.
move out. And then from there, you have to make a choice if you're going to go lower, no contact.
Yeah.
But
You
that's
can have,
that's
Or
hard. That's so
huh?
hard. That's
What'd
really
you say,
hard.
baby?
It's hard, but I understand where you're coming from because you got to
Which
do
one's
what's best
hard?
for you.
Which one's hard? Moving out or doing the lower, no contact?
No contact.
Well, the no contact that's a process. It's not
Yeah.
something easy. But the low contact, you can have a comment. This is what I would do.
Okay.
Move out because you definitely need your own space because you can't do it while you're in her space. And you just have a conversation and tell her mom, would you like to go to family therapy with me? My mom went off on me when I asked her that shit. She said, I don't need it, you do. I'm perfect. Ain't nothing wrong with me and I ain't gonna change. I said, okay. So I made the choice to go no contact. Either we have an option, either we're gonna work at preparing our relationship, or I'm gonna continue to be your doormat, or I'm gonna walk away so I can heal. It's very difficult to heal in the same place where you're hurt.
Yeah. Because I'm sorry. Ooh, let me take a
It's
breather.
okay, baby. Talk to us. We're here for you.
I
yeah.
had an altar, but I took it down because I don't feel comfortable with having an altar in that household. It's just really negative and toxic for me. And also, my twin brother, he lives there too. Well, he's technically like homeless, but my mom had like let him back in to like stay. Um, I feel like I feel like his anger stems from my mom. I feel like he has mommy issues and he takes it out on me, and I'm like he takes his anger out on me and he beats me up for it, and I don't like that.
He puts his hands on you
Yeah.
Oh
and you ain't
no.
called the police yet?
Oh
Momo
no.
baby. You don't
Uh-uh.
know. Momo baby.
We
Momo
called
my
the
baby.
police, like we had got a restraining order on him.
Uh-uh. No, definitely.
And your mom lets him violate the order?
It's not that he violated it, it's just that like we dropped it.
Oh, I see. Okay. The next time he hits you, you call the police on him.
Okay.
It's not your job. Baby, listen to me, my love. Listen to me. It is not your job to be the punching bag for your badly raised ass little brother.
Right. And another thing is that, it's okay to tell her what's up. It's okay to say, I don't like when you do this, mom. I don't
Or you
like
can
it. And
knock
even
his
though she
ass into
doesn't,
next week. You
And
put you a can soda in a sock and bust his shit wide the fuck open next time he put his hands on you. How old is your
yeah,
brother?
We're twins. We're the same
Oh, you're
age.
twins. Okay.
Yeah,
He
25.
25 too? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he not no little kid. He know what the fuck he doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not supposed to. I mean, no, he's not supposed to do that. No, touching. Fuck that. No. Uh.
Mm.
Oh my God. Pobrecita. No, again, as Tiffany said, I'm just gonna piggyback from what she's saying. Uh, to you, boo,
Mm-hmm.
put yourself first. Start.
As a mother, she has an obligation and a well, she's supposed to have an
Mm-hmm.
obligation and a drive to protect her child.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in that house and you're getting beat up by some big grown musty funky feet ass onions under the arm ass little boy,
Mm-hmm.
and she not protecting you, you have no choice for your safety and security than to just move the fuck around, leave if you have the means to do so. And if you don't, baby, you do spell work to do it.
Now with the spell work, because I'm trying to build a relationship with my ancestors. I've been pouring out my libations and giving them offerings, but it's like I don't want to do spell work and then I don't have their permission to like do the spell work. Like, how does
You
that
don't
work?
need their permission. Fuck that. You don't need their permission. There's a lot of people out there practicing in secret or practicing in homes where it's not conducive. It ain't nobody's business what you do. You don't need an altar right now at this stage if you can't have one. Do you have your own room?
Yes, I have my own room.
Do you have privacy in your own room? It's one thing to have your own room, but in toxic households, your room may be yours, but it ain't private.
Right.
Um, that's a good question. I would say yeah. Well, my brother, he broke my door. I had a lock on my door, so he broke the part like where I can't lock it from the outside, but I could lock it on the inside.
So basically, your room isn't private. That's okay with his
Okay.
bitch ass. Now, so what you do is if you want to give a offering to your ancestors, talk to them, pour libation, you take a walk. You know how you walk in right now? Go to the park, walk out, find a tree, pour you out a little bottle of water and talk to them that way. When you're meditating, you can meditate. If you're able to light incense, light your incense. If you can't, take a walk and have an incense burning in your hand.
Okay.
That is those are very small offerings that you can do that your ancestors were honored, and they'll take that shit and run with it until you can get your own space. You might only be able to afford a studio, and that's okay because one of my first apartments was a studio and I was perfectly fine there.
Okay.
And that's how you build, baby. You're 25, you're new to this realm, you're just a baby yourself.
Yeah, she's a
And I need you to
baby.
not be so damn hard on yourself because this is what spirit is telling me.
And then remember, your brain just finished developing fully, completely, and probably not yet because you have a lot of trauma. So just remember, and your brother, it sounds like he's very impulsive. He
I don't
has
give
a
a shit
coming
about him.
soon.
Fuck him. He don't have impulsive my ass. He can lick my goddamn sack from the back. Look, he don't have
Okay,
I have a
Tiffany.
problem with bullies. I really have a problem with bullies.
Mhm.
This is why Teresa need not to tell me, although I'll be mad as fuck if she don't, if my niece is ever being bullied, because I'm showing up at that school and I'm cussing out the parents and bitch, I will fight you because you need to raise your fucking kids better type shit.
Right.
I don't like bullies.
Yeah, bullies are horrible. Yeah.
But I'm gonna give you my phone number. Okay?
Okay.
And I want you, if you're ever struggling, I want you to call me. Let's see. How the fuck do I do this shit? Damn, I'm slow. Okay.
Are you gonna send it through the chat?
It's right there. I just put it in. Save that number. That's the shop number, baby.
Oh yeah, I told you one time. I
Oh,
told you how
okay,
I got
good.
scammed by a bum ass psychic. I'm so mad.
Oh, yeah. You
Because
keep that number and you call me. Okay?
All right.
okay. I just want to say thank you guys so much
You're
for
welcome. Anytime.
the advice.
We are
I love
here
you,
for you,
Auntie.
okay? You're not alone.
You're not
Yeah,
alone.
I just been like, I know I can't build the relationship how I want to build it with my ancestors, but I still go outside and I still talk to them. And
Wait a minute.
I
Hold
do.
on. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up. What do you mean you can't build one? Why can't you?
Well, like in my household, like I want to be able to meditate and like just be in a peaceful, calm space
Understood. So this is what we're going to say. We're going to stop that verbiage. You're not going to say you can't build a relationship. You're going to say you can't practice how you want to. You can't automate them how you want.
Okay, right.
That's a big difference.
Yes.
Okay.
So I just been outside, still pouring out my libations, and I'd be crying, snot coming down my nose, just everything. I'd be a mess. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm new to this, and it's like I really just wish I found spirituality a long time ago, and I'm so glad I ran across your channel.
Glad you're here, and we're here for you.
It's just
And
really a blessing and an honor to like really come across someone that's really ethical as you are. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. And I'm glad. I'm trying to be exactly what I needed when I first started. And that's what me and Teresa are here for. We're here to be exactly what we needed, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Take care.
Well,
All
have
Bye,
a
right.
good
Momo.
night.
You
Bye.
too.
Thank you.
All
You're
right.
welcome. Oh,
Uh,
wow. I just love the youth. But I want to
yeah,
whoop her brother's ass. I ain't even going to lie to you.
me too.
Oh, child. All right. It's getting late, y'all. It's getting hella, hella, hella late. And
All
we still
right.
have a back room full of people.
Really?
So I'm not taking, no, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. But I'm not taking nobody else new. Please don't click the link if you are not Shay, Robbie, D, Queen, or Saved and Sanctified. He's back. The guy with the male stalker who smells like shit, who's trying to do love work on him.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, his ass is back. All right. If you're not any of those people, you guys are gonna have to catch us on the next one. S Star, thank you for your commentary tonight. I have enjoyed you. As you see that I keep posting your comments on the screen. We'll probably go live in the next week or two, Teresa?
Yeah, I'm doing. Uh,
Teresa, you there?
yeah, hold on. I can't. Are you there?
I'm here.
I don't know. I can't find my screen. Hold on.
You're like all black here, like a big black block. There's no camera on. I think you turned your camera off, honey.
Okay. Hold on. Let me do this. All right. Oh, I hate this.
I don't know what happened to her. Teresa,
Ah.
I don't know. StreamYard has been acting up tonight, y'all. Oh, she's back. Oh, she's gone. Oh, she's back. Okay. She's back. Okay. So we're gonna add Robbie to the stage. Hi, baby.
Hi,
Hi, Robin. How are
can you
you?
hear me?
Yes, very loud and clear.
So my situation is kind of like,
Can you see me?
yes, I can see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Teresa, you're gone again. I don't know what the hell's going on with you. We can hear you just fine, Teresa. I don't. She's having some sort of technical difficulties. But go ahead, Robin, baby. Go ahead.
So my situation is similar to Momo's with
Oh
my
no.
mom,
Okay.
and we're around the same age. I'm a year older than she is.
Mm-hmm.
But my biggest issue right now is that I'm trying to like foster some independence, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to move, and I'm trying to move with my boyfriend and stuff. But I do
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of the trauma that has been unaddressed is affecting me mentally and even physically. Like I'm physically sick. Like I can't eat at all. My stomach doesn't work. Like it's bad. I've been completely disabled, dropped under 100 pounds multiple times,
Oh wow.
recommended to hospice twice. It's a lot of stuff. And I was just thinking about growing up and like harboring that trauma and not being able to express it or seek help. Um definitely kind of still plays a part in why I'm so sick now. Um, And also like, so in high school, like I didn't want to be here. Like I really wanted to be gone. So we went to the PCP, and he was like, I recommend therapy and, medication. And my mom was basically like, no, we're not doing that. She told me that I give myself anxiety and depression. So it was never encouraged. And then I tried to go see another psychologist, but unfortunately, with my insurance, they don't cover it and they wanted like $50 a week. So I couldn't do that. And he straight away he wanted to put me on like medication, like psych meds and stuff. And I didn't want to do that first because if I'm on psych meds, I don't want to feel like a zombie. Like I need to be able to connect with my ancestors, and I feel like the psych meds aren't going to allow that to happen. Like I have dreams, I hear from my ancestors, I see things, and it's just increased as I unfortunately I've gotten sicker. That I've always had that when I was younger, but as I gotten sicker, it's gotten stronger. I don't know why, but yeah, but there's so much trauma that I have. Like even like my boyfriend could be moving around me, and I'll start to flinch, like I'm gonna get hit or something.
Mm.
And like it's also because I've seen that in my parents. They were very abusive. And then my mom would say something like, she's like, you don't sweep the floor good. Your husband's gonna beat the shit out of you. Stuff like that, and
Mm.
all that other trauma that I have.
Did your dad beat your mom?
Um, yeah, but like they would fight each other. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like for example, she would say that she's not responding and giving money to my grandma that she took. So I unfortunately witnessed a lot of violence. Um, yeah, but they're divorced. My dad doesn't live there anymore, but or live here anymore. They've been divorced, and even through that process, like I was pulled out of school when I shouldn't have been. I was at courthouses. I missed so many days of school. Like they told me that I possibly couldn't graduate. Like there was a lot of trauma, a lot. Like I can name you. My cousin had a funeral, and my dad was supposed to be preaching at that funeral. But my mom wanted to take me, but my dad was taking me to my cousin's funeral. So my mom drove up there, started throwing stuff out the car, throwing stuff at him. My family had to pull me inside the funeral home and lock the doors, and then they had to call the police. Um, so much stuff. But yeah, and the thing is, like, I've been told that basically me and my mom have experienced this kind of like back and forth in every lifetime we have been in. So I don't really know what the solution's going to be. You know what I mean?
It
Um,
sounds like you gotta go no contact or low contact.
yeah, it's really hard since I'm disabled because it's like I still need to like rely on her a lot for my care, my nutrition and everything. But I mean, she supports me in that way, but like as a motherhood type of way, we don't talk. Everything starts into like a yelling match. She caused me to be very, very insecure. She'll tell me
Mm.
that I look like shit, my hair looks like shit. She'll call a hoe, a whore, a hooker, anything in the book. Accused me of being pregnant when I was like 11 or 10.
Damn.
Um, yes, it's a lot. It's a lot. And even she says I'm embarrassing because I'm disabled and I get really thin. And she says I'm embarrassment to her. So um,
The fuck?
I can't show any of my medical devices. So if I need to be hooked up to my tube feeds all day, she'll complain about that because she doesn't like how that looks on her. Um,
Oh my god.
she accuses me of making myself sick, but you know. And when I did tell her that I was going to therapy, um, ADHD was brought up, and it takes a lot longer for Black women to be diagnosed with ADHD or autism. And she told me that ADHD is what white people give their kids so they can get a check. And she says that I
The
shouldn't complain
fuck?
if I don't get a job. And she says that's your fault if you don't get a job. And then when I was going to therapy, she was like, I hope you're not talking about me. I'm not the problem. I'm not the problem.
That's
Um,
smart.
so
She is the problem. Shit.
there's a lot. I mean, a lot of family members have gone non-contact with her because of her overstepping, boundaries and stuff. Like my cousins and everything. My sister-in-law wasn't talking to her for a year. Um, my brother, he lives alone, but he's not. He's very to himself a lot of times. Um,
Mm.
And
but
you mean to tell me the only person that can give you care is her? There's nobody else? You can't even hire, like, have the state pay? Like, here in California, we have a thing called IHSS,
mhm.
where the person, you can get anybody to sign up and be your caregiver, baby.
Yes, I'm trying to move. I will be moving to New York with my boyfriend, and I'm trying to take a couple of things at a time. Um, Usually I do way better with him, but I also think it's unfair because even a call from her could have me shut down completely. Like,
That's why
I,
you block them.
I have to dissociate. I dissociate a lot, a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do this live again. It's a lot of people that need help with healing mother wounds. And I'm so
Yeah.
sorry that you're going through this. I'm so sorry because you
Damn.
don't deserve it. So your mama say you ugly. I'm telling you right now you're not.
No, you're not.
Only reason why she's saying that is probably because she's looking through a jealous lens. There's
Mm.
nothing wrong with you, honey. And don't allow somebody who don't even love themselves to try to have the keys to how you should feel about you.
Yeah.
She don't have that
Remember,
much power. She's speaking out the side of her goddamn neck and up her ass.
remember, people treat you the way they feel about themselves.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with you.
Mm-mm.
But I think that you moving out would be the best decision for you because you got to get the hell away from her. I wish I could talk to her ass.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I'm dead ass serious. Like I really do. Like that
It's
that really really bothers me.
I try like to give her grace because I'm like I don't know what she's experienced. I know she's experienced like of course physical abuse and like marriages and stuff, but even on the like other side, like my grandma, when my grandma was alive, like I consider my grandma to be my mom. Like I can't talk to her about anything, but with my grandma, yeah, I considered her to be my mom.
Hmm.
Mm. Move, honey. Teresa, check and see how the move is gonna go for her,
Hmm.
please.
What's your first name? I miss your friend. What's your name?
My name Robin.
Oh, Robin. Okay. Sorry, Robin. I'm here with my. I'm sitting in my bed till my ass hurts already. Huh? Call him Robin. It's very busy. So definitely very defensive there. Very scared. You're fearful, huh? You're looking at options. Is it gonna be a good? Your boyfriend is gonna help you a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
A lot of fights with family. Yeah. Okay. Heartache. You're gonna have a little bit of a heartache, dear, but meaning, yeah, but you will walk away. All right.
Hmm.
You feel stuck at the moment. New journey. You're gonna be okay. You get the full. Also, also, I feel like you're gonna reinvent yourself over there. Like it's a
Hmm.
whole brand new, like reborn kind of thing. So have fun with it and enjoy the journey.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. She's gonna be okay, Tiffany. More than okay.
Okay. And I also feel like that your health. I just got this download. Hold on, baby. I'm sorry. I just got that your health is going to dramatically increase the second you get the fuck away from her.
Mm.
So one thing that we need to remember, sorry guys, I just got up because my ass is numb. Uh one thing is that the our body keeps its score, right? So
Mhm.
when we're going through stress and we're already sick, it worsens our symptoms, like Tiffany says.
Mhm.
So once you get out of that environment, your body is not gonna react the way it's reacting at the moment. Get
Mhm.
So that's important to remember, dear. Once you're in a healthier environment where you're gonna be, oh shit, I just took out my sweater and I'm still cold. Uh, you're gonna be better off because your body is like telling you like, get me the fuck out of here. Get it?
Mhm.
And you're like,
Yeah.
no, we're staying, we can't move, and you feel stuck. Like I saw and your in your cards earlier when I shuffled the first spread. But I do see changes for you, new journey. Uh, Virgo season is gonna be a good season for you too to start seeing the changes. All right, it's
Mm.
transformation. It's about the Empress. It's about rebirth for you. So that's
Mhm.
very unique that I'm seeing that, and it's almost like newborn. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to be okay.
Thank
I
Yeah,
you.
promise you're going to be okay.
you're gonna be more than okay.
But just know that you're not the problem. Please
Yes.
know that. It is not you, honey. Mm,
Right.
Thank
okay.
you.
You're
You're
more than
welcome.
welcome, honey. Just please feel free to tap in once you move
Mhm.
and give us an update, baby.
I will. Thank you guys
Oh,
so much.
you're more than welcome. You have a nice night.
Sorry, I needed to get
That
up
is
and
so horrible.
right.
Horrible, horrible, horrible. Oh my
And it's
gosh.
important to remember that the body keeps its score, right?
I did not know this live was going to be so deep. All right, we bring in Mr. Saved and Sanctified back up. He
Oh,
got an issue with a stalker who smells like shit and wants to marry him.
huh?
Sir,
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
hello?
you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, we're here for you, sir.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Uh, all right. Yeah, what happened was I was at work, it was a connection. What happened was this man, he's an occultist, and I was a trainer at the job. And he got on the bus the first time he got on the bus. I picked up his energy was real fucked up. He looks like a stereotypical pedophile. And with divination, he is a pedophile. This person was at the job. And the second day he came on the training, oh, he said, "Oh, you look as good as I feel." So, me, I'm at the work trying to be professional. So I'm like, because the first thing came in my mind, man, if you don't get away with that bullshit, this is a gray ass white man. I'm a black man with dreads. So you know, I'm not, like very, like he looked like them type, he looked like a stereotypical pedophile. So basically after that, he came smelling like shit. So right away I knew that he was doing some type of fucking ritual, right? So, after that, then I heard him like trying to talk in my head and shit. So he been trying to do love spells, all kinds of shit, stalking, and my job is fucked up. They gave him the information because this motherfucker came to my house. Like I said, this is like some straight up Harry Potter shit. He been doing this shit for over a year with the stalking, trying to spiritually attack me, all kinds of bullshit. But like, if I was not spiritually aware and doing my protection work, I would have been fucked up. And like I said, I've been watching you for years, and I seen this come up. So I said, let me call in. Because, like I said, I can't tell people about this shit who are not spiritual because he tries to call and to try to talk and send shit telepathically, all that kinds of bullshit, so you can't prove the stalking. So he'll come around psychically, he'll know which time I leave my house and different type of shit like that. This is crazy shit. But the thing is, he keep getting fucked up spiritually, and he turns around and does the shit again.
Okay, so Teresa, can you please check and see if this man really want to rearrange his guts and exactly what he can do? He's well protected. Um The man keep getting fucked up, but he really want to bend him over and break his buck.
I'll check for that. But okay, give me his first name because I know his nickname is
His
not his
name
name.
is his name is Thomas.
And what's
Like
your
I
name?
said, my name is Brandon.
All right, Brandon.
Yeah, I've been
I'm
spiritually
sorry.
fighting him.
Oof.
I, I've been spiritually fighting him over a year
My
because see,
question
I'm
to
the only
you,
person.
Brandon, and it's not
Yep.
like I don't believe you. I don't try to judge people, to so what are your symptoms though? Because if something's missing in the puzzle, you say he's doing rituals. I mean, if it's love, let me tell you something. If it was love work, you would have been bucking him, all right? But you said that you are protected, and is it your guys start giving you messages? Because what I see is a very unstable person. When you mention him, his energy is very mentally ill. So just know that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Basically, whenever he does stuff, I counteract it. He's gone to people to try to pay people to work me. Every day, my day off, he do ritual. And see now, all the people that he goes to, they done got fucked up. He's continually doing this shit.
He definitely has attraction. I mean, you're not, yeah, 401s. Sorry, I'm not trying to make fun of you.
Yeah, because see, I can only tell this shit. I can only tell this shit to other spiritual people because people is not gonna understand it.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
this shit this shit is like a fucking Lifetime movie. This motherfucker got on the bus. The second time he started trying to work me, and the third time he showed up at the fucking job without them telling them, because I told him that this motherfucker tried to do that shit, and those motherfuckers on the job gave him my information.
Nothing.
They gave him my phone number. I changed that shit because see, all of this stuff I know spiritually. I can't prove it physically. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm able to get to stay ahead of his ass.
Mm-hmm. So he's looking I mean, the answer is yes. He likes you. He's very lusty with that demo there. And he's looking at options.
He's a sick motherfucker. He does this shit to men. He does this shit to men. He wants like a masculine man. He don't, and I don't want shit to do with this man. No man. But he does this shit to men too, like it's of control. He feeds off of that. He's a narcissist.
Nightclubs, yeah. What if he stop? I mean, he's eventually gonna stop. So we we're looking at he likes you. Two of cups. Ha! Sorry, it's not funny. That I'm sorry,
You good.
Tiffany.
You good. Because like I said, I can only tell this shit to other people who are spiritual, who understand. They'll say I'm crazy as hell. Because I went to the cops because I only had the physical evidence of him driving by my house. How the fuck I'm gonna go in the police station? Oh yeah, this white man is trying to put love spells on me. I'm gonna look crazy as hell.
Yeah, you can't say that, and it's actually not funny. I know I'm laughing because sexual harassment and stalking is serious,
Yeah.
and I'm so sorry you got to deal with that shit.
And he do, and basically I had to put up all kinds of protection to keep this motherfucker from trying to come in my dreams and shit.
Yeah, it's gonna end soon. So I wouldn't be like I mean, you're not gonna like the time frame, but I do see mm, starting in June he's gonna minimize and then like at least next 3 months. All right, less and less and less.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
cause I already been dealing with this shit for over a year. He started with me, and like because people be like, "Well, was you with this man?" Hell no. The motherfucker he just came on. He just because that's what he does. It's an obsession. He does this shit to men and makes them his victims.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
He wasn't able to do that shit to me. I've been through hell with this motherfucker. And the
Right.
people on my job, they think the shit's funny. They gave him my fucking information.
Oh,
That's how he knew
that's
where the
a
fuck I
lawsuit.
live.
If something happens to you, they should be accountable, right? Tiff?
But the
They're
thing is,
liable.
I know this by spirit, divination and stuff. Spirit, I know they did it, but I can't prove it physically. You understand what I'm saying? All this shit I know physically, but there's no physical evidence. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying.
Because he spent thousands of dollars trying to pay people to work me because the shit he do don't work. It's constant every day. And now he's doing the shit. He's doing the shit all fucking day. Throwing shit. And I gotta constantly counteract the shit.
Mm.
So you see it stopping by June?
No, in 3 more months he's gonna minimize it. Total stop. Yeah. Like November, December. Sagittarius. Yeah,
Sorry.
a long time. I told him, but minimizing, you're gonna see less of him 3 months because he has a little. He's working on a new guy, so don't worry about it. He's
Yeah,
definitely good.
yeah. Because what
Yeah.
happens is he's getting fucked up constantly. It's an obsession with him. He's mad because, like I said, more spirits have come to me for protection against this motherfucker. If I was not spiritual and protecting myself, I would have been fucked up.
Right.
And I can't tell nobody this shit because the shit sounds crazy.
Right.
Because they're gonna be the wait a minute. And this motherfucker was going around lying to people, telling people that I took money from him and all this crazy shit because the motherfucker he would astral project in my house. So he could make up all kinds of shit.
Mm. Wow.
You see what I'm saying? This is some shit this is some shit I can't tell nobody this shit. Because they say, oh well, maybe you're hallucinating. Maybe you can't because I can't tell nobody shit. Oh yeah, he's spiritually doing this shit. I can't tell nobody shit. Cause the more he do shit, the more he get fucked up. He's getting fucked up spiritually constantly. Then he comes back again. He tried to pay people to attack my house, and all of them people got fucked up.
Just continue
It,
doing your protection. I see something ending in November. I'm sorry I can't give you
I
like the
understand.
time frame of tomorrow, but that's what I see for now.
I understand. I understand. Because
Yeah.
somebody said, yeah, because the other people told me that as well. That he gonna keep doing shit because he gets fucked up. Because the only way he's getting fucked up, all kinds of fucked up shit's happening to him.
Right.
Right? Because like I said, when I tell people, they gonna think, you crazy. I can't tell people shit. Like I'm scared to leave my house to go on vacation because I'm away from my protection.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I can't enjoy life. I can't do shit because I gotta constantly be making sure I'm before this motherfucker try to do some fuck shit. He's a sick motherfucker. He's a gray ass white man, about 50 something, and he's done this shit to men all the time.
Mm.
He do this shit to men. People who don't want shit to do with his ass. He feeds off of that shit. He's a pedophile. Spiritually, we found out that he's a pedophile.
Oh my God.
He's a fucking pedophile, and he gets off of doing that shit to men.
Yeah.
Mind you, he just came on the bus as a trainee, and he started trying to hit on me then. So he knew you don't want shit to do with him. And like I say, with that, because see, he know never ever, because he came by my house today and I ran his ass off. Because he keeps trying to attack my protections, and he getting fucked up. He works with low-level demons. He don't work with higher spirits. He works with tranquil spirits. Because basically, to do that shit to a man, you have to put spirits on somebody to change their nature. But the shit don't work on me. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I'm sorry you got to wait a few more months. And if you do have to travel, take your protection with you.
What you say now?
If you do have to travel or have to go, take your protection with you.
Oh yeah, I do
Carry.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that because I always got to be on some. Like I say, and he ain't the only one who be trying to do that shit. It's a shitload of people be trying to work me, but he's the most pain in the ass. I got women and men trying to work my ass. I'm like, what the fuck do they see? What do they see about me is so damn special?
Well, this is why I'm against love work. Right there.
Yeah, because the thing is, they try to throw the love work at me. The shit don't work, and then they're fucking puzzled and shit why the shit don't work. Like I got a bitch at the job. She throw the shit, and then this bitch come to say hi. I was like, oh, in my mind, oh, you wonder why the shit you work didn't work. Oh, hi, how you doing? I say hi to her. And listen, I gotta be on some Harry Potter and shit, constantly carrying potions and shit to neutralize shit.
Sorry,
They throw.
Harry Potter
I,
shit.
I
You said?
listen. I got my shit to constantly neutralize shit. And when I get to work on different places, they be fucking there with, oh, I said, oh, motherfucker, you waiting for me to come up to you, huh? They had a motherfucker try to do that shit tonight. And they get warned to leave this motherfucker alone. This motherfucker's crazy, and the shit's not gonna work, and they do the shit anyway. This motherfucker, another motherfucker tried that shit tonight. Strong shit. I gotta walk around with my shit like damn Dr. Buzzard and shit. Spray it. This motherfucker saw me. It didn't work. He got in his car and drove the fuck off. The thing is, you would think motherfuckers learn after they get fucked up. No, they go regroup. And they do the same shit again.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for
Thank you
calling
so
in,
much.
Save and Sanctify. You're welcome.
All right.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
All right. I think, oh, we have two more and we're done for the night.
Oh yeah, that's it for me.
Yep.
I'm here. It's half numb and stuff.
Hi, Shay.
Hey,
How are you?
good. How are you guys?
Well, talk to us. How can we help you?
So I have like similar, well, pretty much, my mom, I'm an only child, so I'm her only, and we've always kind of had like a kind of complicated relationship. Even though like she was in the household, it was like more so my grandmother that raised me. So that like when she passed, we always kind of like struggled with like building a healthy relationship. I mean, we've always kind of just been close by default at times, of course, but just kind of like building a healthy relationship. And then of course like there's like religion. She kind of has gotten very deep into like Christianity, but like very um radicalized in it. So that has kind of like sent her down the path. And like I even like at one point I felt like she, or I've just being honest, like I've seen her kind of like experience different levels of like from what to me seems like spiritual psychosis, but that's a whole different story. But anyways, I now am a mom of two, and I have kind of gone through my own, or really am like still going through like my own kind of like transitions and struggles as far as like with me and their dad's relationship, and um kind of trying to navigate that. They're still babies, but I still kind of worry about the effect on them, especially because I don't, when it comes to me, my mom is pretty much like my main support system, or like she's supposed to be. So she's recently, like, we lived in different states for a while because I moved out of state, but she actually like sold her house, like, and ended up moving to the same state that I'm in. But we are just still like really struggling. Like I feel like I've been very hopeful and just kind of like interceding as much as I can, just to try to like push for us to have like to try to build, that healthy relationship. I feel like with her, there are times where, I get very worried because she just is like very weird with communicating, and she'll do things like disappear. She it's like she barely really like when she speaks to me, it's like sometimes she kind of like speaks in riddles where it's like, she's clearly like trying to hide something or whatever. And she kind of alludes to just different things, like different struggles, like medical things, like I don't know, like it's just so much that I just don't know. And even like with me, she does constantly express her want, especially at this point, to like, be there for me and kind of like really rebuild our relationship, especially for the sake of like the kids, and her grandchildren, and just kind of like, making sure that we continue like a healthy, pattern for them to be able to grow up and, experience. And so I just am like kind of confused, I guess, like at this point. I don't really know what the obstacle is because she doesn't really talk to me, and again, like there are times where I just get really worried. I'm like, I don't know if it's something that like is really wrong, that she doesn't want to tell me, but like at the same time, I feel like I need to be there for her, like um so
Does does your mama have a mental health diagnosis?
she doesn't. I mean, mental health things have like ran in our family. But like she's also Caribbean. Like she's a like I'm a first
Oh,
generation like American, so she's also very like against like Caribbean Christian, like no, I mean, not to even say, I'm not gonna lie, like she actually has been more in more recent years, she has been more open-minded to like therapy and things of that nature, but she always kinds of keeps it to the point where like she, again, just because of like how deep she is in her spirituality, she's always like talking about how like things like Alzheimer's are like it's like a spiritual thing, like there's and I'm like, it's medical too, but it's just things like that. Like she won't really believe in a diagnosis, like that's not something that she's open to.
So she hasn't been diagnosed with any mental illness yet?
No, she hasn't. But like, I'm not gonna lie, just being, I think that it might be like, I'm not gonna say
Bipolar,
mental
depressed?
health, but like the way she makes it seem, that's why I get worried, is like she makes it seem as if it's something like along the lines of like, maybe like I don't even want to say it because it's like, but she kind of just constantly talks about how like, she sometimes she acts weird and like, she can't remember things and like, she's just having different things that she's experiencing that are kind of like worrying to her, but she doesn't go into detail at all, and like if
She
how
I
old
try,
is
has,
your mama?
she's 56, she's fairly,
oh, she might be experiencing early stages of dementia, right?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Do you think that could be it?
I mean, just being realistic, I do think of that because she talks about it. Just as far as like, as well as just kind of like seeing it in my family, I know that has like kind of worried her too because there are people in our family, like her close family members, that are currently going through it. So I know that for her that can be a radicalizing experience in itself. So she's always just kind of like talking about her just wanting to stay on top of it and like do everything that she can to like stay healthy and all the preventative measures that she can possibly do. But again, she does mention like having certain symptoms, but she said she hasn't, I don't know if she's gotten a diagnosis or anything like official to say that that's what it is. I pray that it isn't, like I wouldn't want her to have to go through that. But
Hmm.
it's other things too. Like my mom is the type of person that she's always been very health conscious and things of that nature. So, she's always, I can understand how, of course, just getting older, you see family members and just all types of stuff. So I can understand how there are things that, like, when you're older, certain things are like troubling. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like if you're younger, it's like okay, like I'm gonna just sleep it off. But when you're older, it's like okay, no, now I have to be serious about my health. So I do see that as well. Like she's just all around just trying to make sure that she's in the best state. But she does talk about like there's times where she's just like yeah, like there are things that I'm noticing now that I am getting older, and I just want to make sure that I can stay as healthy as possible for as long as possible, pretty much.
Yeah, because she might just be again going through the early stages of dementia and depression. So
Yeah.
that's what really going on.
You want to check for her, Teresa?
If she has dementia,
Yeah.
I mean the symptoms are there, Tiffany.
They
She
are. I know.
becomes
It's the same thing
she-
my daddy was going through
she's
and he
getting
died.
very forgetful. She's sad and that. But let me check. Yeah, I'll still check. Just try to. Oh, wow, very bossy lady. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's gonna make her more emotional, and she tries to hide it with the moon there. But with
Dang.
the, the strength there, so yes, Carson. Yeah.
So sorry,
So
Shay.
yeah. So do you know what I can do to try to like get her to open up to me? Like, what do you feel like is the obstacle that's like hurting our relationship? Because it's like yeah.
Her lies. She hides it. She hides her really, like her feelings. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Wow.
She gave the seven of swords, so she's hiding a lot from her past. But it makes you if it makes you feel better, all the way to December, she's gonna be healing. All right. So she's gonna be a little bit more emotionally healed by Libra season. What can you do? Be patient, communicate, and she's gonna need a lot of your support because dementia is not easy.
Yeah, like I just don't know how to support her, cuz
Talk to her doctor and find out. There's some medications that can slow it.
yeah, like I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't know that. I mean, it's obviously at this point it's not far-fetched that she is. I don't know. Like I really don't want to say until I get it from her. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
just being honest, like I because I just want to have like just out of respect because it's like again, I can see that she's also very paranoid because she's watching like, like her brother is going through like very severe dementia right now, and like I know that that is like very scary for her, and I just I don't know like I don't know how to get close enough to her to like kind of even like open that part up to say like hey, like what if I can, like she like even though she moved here, like she won't even tell me where she lives, like stuff like that, like, and those things like genuinely worry me. That's why it's like it's times like what I'm saying, especially just thinking of that, like just everything aside, she is getting older, she's not married, so it's like like of course just anybody is like going to be more vulnerable, especially in a state that they're not from and stuff, so it's like just for safety reasons, it's like I want to be able to know certain things, and she just withholds so much to the point where like I'm not gonna lie, like it frustrates me, and sometimes I might lash out a bit because I don't really understand what's going on and I'm going through my own motions, and I feel like she's not being understanding, or she's just not trying to be there for me, because we've had like patterns of that in the past of her just kind of like just not really like just kind of ghosting me and like running away, So yeah, like
I
I
understand.
just, that's where I'm kind of stuck at. You know, I'm just trying to implement things that can really actually like break down whatever it is that's holding us apart, you know, or holding her from opening up to me.
Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. I really am. I know the feeling, baby.
Yeah.
But a quick question I wanted to ask, I don't know if you, Tiffany, I don't know if you actually were like, you know, involved or, you know, what the story was, but if you have any, where, because you did mention your dad, like, how did you, or if you did, like, you know, kind of navigate that with him? Like, you know, what are things that helped you and helped him?
He had early onset dementia. And he got his diagnosis the same age your mom has hers now. And we just had to go through the process because there was no cure for it. I don't know if there's medication now. This was 8 years ago, 9 years ago. Yeah, it's 9 years ago. So what you have to understand is acceptance is the hardest part about it. So you're just gonna have to just be there for them with every stage. But just like Nina said, he posted something where he said especially can hurt when she comes from a place of truth. You have to understand that you can't force her to do anything. She has to like do it in her own terms.
Yeah.
She can't. Oh, he says, unfortunately, avoidance doesn't negate reality, which is so true. And my dad and other family members tried the avoidance thing, and he said, you can't run from certain problems. She's gonna have to face it, and probably sooner than later. So right now, the only thing you can do is the same thing I did. Just be a support system.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely like get that.
And I'm so sorry. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, I appreciate you guys.
We thank you too
Definitely
for the
some
support,
clarity.
baby.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
And you have a fantastic night and check back in with us, okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Bye.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have one more person and we are out and we are done. Y'all, we've been on this damn live going on 3 hours. We always say we have a time frame, but it is what it is. Hi, Dee.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're
Good.
well, honey. Talk to us. How may we help you?
I just wanted to, first of all, my daughter introduced me to you all, and you ladies are wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am 53 years old, and my mother passed away in 21, and
Oh.
my brother passed away in 22.
I'm so
Mm.
sorry.
Now, my mom, well, we're from the South, and
What
my
part?
mom, Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay, I got family in Hattiesburg. I was just there a few months ago.
Okay, okay, sister.
Yeah.
Um, so at 6 months, my leg gotten broken, and I never got the real true story about what happened. But my mom will always say, "Well, my brother had a toy and threw it in the crib, and that's how my leg got broken." So, long story short, um, my mother wound up giving me to my auntie, which was very, very toxic.
Mm.
Molestation went on,
Mm.
just a lot of trauma, and
Mm.
I don't want to hold it up real long. But in the process of growing up, my mom, it's like she catered to my cousins down south. She signed for cars, she did everything for them. But it's like I have two children, which they're grown, and I have I had issues as growing up of trying to unalive myself
Mhm,
because
Mm.
I just the trauma was just too much. And then I have abandonment issues.
mhm,
I
Mm.
did get married, uh
Okay.
but it's like he tried to isolate me from the kids
Mm.
because it's coming up. it was always nasty names. You know, you get whooped for certain things. And I had always promised myself, if I have kids, I don't want them to feel like this, and I don't want to do this to them. Now, mind you, back in the 70s, it wasn't a such thing as, uh, therapy. But, the social workers would come out, you know, if you didn't go to school or you wasn't doing good in school, they will come out to the house. My auntie will lie, to make herself, look good and feel good. But when I just got divorced 2 years ago, because like I said, he tried to isolate me from my children, which was a big no-no to me, because it's like they are the only one that I truly love and they love me. But I always tell my kids that I'm a little jealous of them because they know how it feels to love their mother and I don't.
Mm.
Mm.
And I understand. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's deep.
Yeah.
So it's like when my mom passed, she was married. I went down there. Now, mind you, I really didn't know anything about what to do. And if it wasn't for my daughter getting my mom together, and she wanted us to, put her makeup on and all that, I couldn't do that. But my daughter was able enough to do that. But I always felt that if my mom didn't do right toward me, do right toward your grandkids.
Right.
But she never did that. And but she did do things for other people, children. She poured into other people. And then when we would talk, the talks would be, ah, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? And she never
Yeah.
wanted to take accountability for her part. And whenever I asked her about why you never came back to get me, why you never did this, and why, it just was always, well, I just thought you were okay. You were in a better place. But I told you, I reached out to you as a kid. What was going on? The molestation. I mean, not one, my auntie husband, her son, just molestation up and down the road. And it's my auntie, when my mother would bring it up to her, she'd be like, oh, she just fast as hell. She wanted it anyway.
Mm.
What?
Yeah, so it's like I'm just I have abandonment issues. So when I divorced my husband, I came back home to my kids. And this is where I'm at to this day. And it's like I just want to know that the reasoning of her being so cold toward me. I don't know if it had to do with my father. I don't know that. And then my brother, she would come to Chicago when he was young, and we would be together. And then she stopped coming to Chicago, and then that tore up our relationship between me and my brother. And I love my brother to death.
Mm.
And then he went off to prison, and and at 52 he passed away. So it's like now I have nobody, because my father passed away in 2014, which my auntie still lives. But me and her, that relationship is just not what it is, because you won't
Right.
take accountability of the things that you allowed, versus standing up and going to the police and doing things, versus accusing me of wanting the
Right. You were
bad things.
unprotected. You were
Right.
unprotected. Right.
Thank you, that's what it is. Yes.
It seems to answer your question, ma'am, about your mother. It seems like you're reminding her of your father. Do you look like your dad? Is that what it is? Because it's
I d-
almost
I
yeah,
do. I'm sorry, I do.
yeah. So that's where it was coming from.
Mm, okay.
Uh, yeah, because there's a you as a kid, your father, and then
What's
them
the
coming.
dynamic between your mom and dad?
Well, all I know, again, because I was gone as a child, that they dated, they got married, and then they divorced.
Divorced, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you know why they divorced?
My father was a womanizer.
Oh, he's a whore, huh? Okay.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was a
he's a kid.
womanizer, and he wind up the auntie that raised me. He wind up messing around with her,
Ooh,
and
child.
my mom shot him with a sawed off shotgun.
Well,
But
Oh
damn.
hell! I'm
he
sorry.
lived through it, you know. But then she went to the hospital and told him, if you tell the police that I did it, I'm gonna finish the job up.
Your mama is a gangster. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Not funny, but funny. I am
no,
sorry,
no,
man.
no, no, because
She said, if you tell them I did it, I'm gonna finish the job, sucker.
yeah, that's what she told him. That's what she told him while he was in the hospital. That if he went and told them, because back then, police asked a little questions, but they asked him, and he had to tell that he was robbed.
Well, you
So,
know.
my mother, I don't know if she was dealing with mental issues. I don't know, because she wasn't good toward me or my brother. But at the end, my brother had gotten sick, and that's when she allowed my brother to come in and live with her, because he wound up having schizophrenic. And so
Mm.
he wound up living with her. But then, as I'm calling at times, she didn't want to talk. She just was just so closed out. I just really don't know what it was. And I want to just make sure that, since she's passed, is she okay now? Are you peaceful? Because you left me back here with a lot of wounds and trying to deal with things. I'm okay. I suppress everything, but at times I have to let it go.
Yeah, and you know what? You're starting to do your own healing journey, and then even as early as August, because you're tired right now. Watch your health too. You're gonna start. I think you're gonna have, and I don't mean to be. I hope I'm wrong on this one. I hope I'm really wrong. I think you have a health scare, or you having a lot of health problems. You're not feeling well. um Something to do with your bloodstream is not okay there, so watch it. And then you're gonna have, like, that the wake up call, and that's when you leave your past behind, because remember earlier I was telling you guys, the body keeps a score. So the more trauma that we have, some of us are, the more unhealthy our health gets affected. And if
Okay.
you there's an ace, Kaiser has an ACE service, right? The ACE service, ACE service, yeah, ACE, a survey. So they did like a survey on people with like high blood pressure, depression, anxiety, people with a lot of health problems, including mental health, right? And that the people and their trauma experiences, right? What kind of level of trauma they have, and socioeconomic, blah blah blah, access to resources, blah blah, because that's trauma in itself, the lack of resource, right? So
Correct.
let's remember that having no food is traumatic. All right. So with
Hmm.
that being said, do you know that in every single individual that scored high, there was like high blood pressure, diabetes, when you name
Okay.
it, cancer,
So,
there's a severe trauma.
so what she's
Mm.
talking about is the ACE test, and you ACE
Mm.
test. It stands for Adverse Childhood Experience,
Mm.
ACE. You can
Mm.
Google it and take
Hmm.
the test. The higher
Okay.
your score, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the range is from 0 to 10. I could be wrong, but check me to see if I'm right. When I did that score, I was baffled at my score. I'll just leave it as, I'm not going to tell my score. Just know that my shit was high. And what
Yeah.
what Teresa's saying is, the higher your ACE score,
Hmm.
the more health issues that you have. Because somebody said it earlier in the chat when we were talking to the other baby, that when you deal with trauma, your body responds and reacts. And Teresa, how did you put it? That your body has to,
So the body keeps its score, and then
yes.
you experience somatic symptoms. That means that, and is where, for example, someone that was sexually abused as a kid, like you, uh, you unfortunately, I'm sorry that that happened to you. Child molestation. Usually, those people, they have a lot of bladder problems, right?
You are correct. You are correct. You're so
UTI,
correct.
right? UTIs, a lot of heaviness, fucking your what you call, even your your linings are tight, shit like
Mhm.
that, right? And
Mhm.
you have trouble just with that, right? And every time you go through stress, you get a UTI, or you start peeing a lot, or something there doesn't feel right. Again, because in that body, and that part of your body, which is your vagina, it's that's where the trauma occur, and your body reacts to it because it's all that shit accumulated there. And believe me, and it's sad. It's sad, but it's true. It's sad, but it's true. For men, if they were sexually assaulted, I would say that one of their somatic symptoms is not getting fucking an erection.
Okay.
It's very like, to some a man that he's been a victim of sexual assault. It's hard to get him. He has to feel complete safety. It has to be really safe. Women too, in general, right? I mean, if we were sexually assaulted, abused, whatever, we won't not have sex with someone unless if we are that we fucking numbing our pain by fucking our life away. We have to be wasted if we were raped as kids or some kind of substance to engage in that kind of behavior, because we don't welcome pleasure as other women do, right?
Right.
So
100%.
and that affects and that affects our parenting. If we were if we like a survivor, self-disclosing, it affects our the way we raise kids, our kids. It even the way we present ourselves to others, the way we handle our relationships, our marriages, everything changes after that. All right. So
Mhm.
you're a very brave person. I do want to give you kudos. You've been working on your journey for a long fucking time.
Mm.
But like you said, you have these attachment, and you fear of abandonment from it coming from your childhood, like you shared earlier. And just remember that it's just your inner child coming out, right? That does not want to be abandoned, and it projects in your adult relationships, right? So with that being said, don't abandon yourself, ma'am. Do the work. And I'm not saying you're gonna get, I see healing after, and you're gonna have, unfortunately, we're gonna have that scare, the health scare, but it's short lived. Okay, I don't want you to
Okay.
freak out or start, fucking summoning, because the more that we think about something, you know the more that, I had a client that I told her she was, I don't know, that she was gonna get sick, and then she's like, oh my god, I'm feeling sick. The next day she was tripping because she was supposed to get sick in, I think, in February. But anyways, don't think about it. I hope I'm wrong, but it's going to be a wake up call, and that's going to help you dive more into your own healing process. And remember, your healing journey, I don't know why, don't compare yourself to others, all right? Because your
Okay.
healing journey is that, there's a reason because I'm seeing this right in my downloads. I am a psychic, so I read tarot, I read pictures, I read energy, etc. I read tobacco. I do a lot of things, right? So divination is my gift. So with that being said, I do see that you compare yourself to other people, man. Don't, minimize that comparison. I want to just straight out, with all my respect, tell you, stop doing it. All right? Because that only pours into your low self-esteem and trauma. So let's work on self-love. When you say abandonment issues, don't abandon yourself. Earlier I was saying, the more that we pour into ourselves, the more self-love, the more that we engage in self-love, and really like hold it down and sit with our pain, the more that we project that energy to others, where we attract individuals that won't fucking walk away.
Okay.
Like
I
I'm
I
telling you,
I
I'm
received that.
telling you, it happened to me. It's happening to me. The more that I work on myself, yeah, I had relapses. I'm not gonna lie, I'm human. But the more I continue to work on myself, the more that I'm attracting good folks. And some friends, we are blessed that they like you in your fucking darkness, and they like you when you're shining. Those are the motherfuckers that we won't, they will never let you go. Even when you let go of yourself. There's those peeps, rare, but they exist. All right.
Okay. I appreciate it so much.
And I
You're
want to praise
welcome.
you. I want to praise you right
Me
quick, real
too.
quick. 'Cause I know we've been on here long and I know y'all sick of hearing my damn mouth, but I got some shit to say. D, the fact that you had grew up in a toxic ass environment with a lot of trauma, but you still were able to pour in love to your children to the fact where they grew up loving on you is a big deal.
Yes.
Because you could have easily been the same toxic ass cycle, but you chose to change it. And for that,
Yeah.
you deserve the biggest hug. I wish I was near you right now so I could pour you up a glass of this damn Merlot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel the love. I receive everything that you girls have said tonight to me, and to speak on Teresa, because I'm not gonna hold you girls up because I know you're tired. But the health scare is I have a torn rotator cuff, and I have
Mm,
a I scoliosis.
okay.
Oh, that's what I see. Okay.
Yes. So, and I have two lawsuits going in trying to fight those, with an ex job, you know. But other than that, thank God, thank everybody who, pours into me, which are my kids. I have a boy and a girl. And when I tell you these are the two loving people that I have, that is what it is. I
I
had,
love
and
it.
I'm gonna speak on this. I couldn't go to see my orthopedic, and my bill was like $1,700, and my son paid it for me to get back to the doctor.
Hmm.
So, um, I love them. I love you girls. I really do. And
Oh,
I appreciate my baby introducing me to you all. I love that you all are so genuine in the way you girls just express yourself,
Well,
the way
thank
you
you.
are, the way you express yourself, the way you are. I love it.
thank you. That means a lot to me for sure. You made my night for
Well,
sure.
thank
Definitely.
you.
This is a great way to end the live. I swear you are
Yeah.
an amazing person. And I bet you know how to cook.
Oh yeah, honey, girl. I know how to cook them collard greens, girl. Yes, I do, girl.
That's so cute.
And I did get on your website, Tiffany, and I have some stuff in the basket, and I am gonna hit this checkout button soon. But I'm just still going through things because I want to get crystals and stuff that resonate with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Understood. Thank you so much for your support. Thank
I
you
thank
very much for being here, Dee.
and thank you, thank you so much, and I hope you all sleep well tonight. And I'm sorry I held on so long, but I
No, no,
You're
no,
appreciate
no,
you
okay.
girls
no,
taking my call.
You're
no.
okay.
That's
Thank
okay.
you.
Been a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Have a fantastic night, okay?
You as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, that pretty much concludes the live. I want to thank Teresa for being here. If you guys want your own reading with her, please feel free to hit up her website. It is www.tarotteresa.com. And she has
Also,
very, oh, sorry.
also a quick announcement. I'm late because I'm having to sell a Mother's Day sale for $35, and I have my cigars for 45% off, guys. Get me while I'm hot. But I am late on my recording videos. I know you've been like, that bitch is online. Uh reading and having recorded my video and my reading. I am so sorry, guys. I'll get to it. By Tuesday, you will all get your readings. Latest, earliest tomorrow, latest Tuesday. I'm sorry, Tiff. I just want to
No, it's
apologize.
okay. She's really good. She's one of my personal readers. I have another one, Empri, that reads for me as well. I'm gonna try to have her on for a live soon. I have to schedule with her, but this was good. This was an excellent idea. Teresa had been getting a nudge from Spirit that she needed to do something for Mother's Day, and like during this season, spring, and we women, we bring the life, and she wanted to do healing from the mother wound. And I'm so thankful we did it because this was a really, really good live. You guys, do not go out spending a fuck ton of money on these readers out here. She's having a special right now for $35
And
for
then
a
at the end of the month, I'm gonna have a Mother's Day bash. I'm gonna share my Zoom link through my Teresa's Tarot on Facebook. I'm gonna also pass it down to Tiffany so she could share it in her group. I'm gonna have a Mother's Day party, Zoom party, where I'm gonna be answering 2 or 3 questions I believe Nena's gonna be there. You, of course,
And
and
if you
then
don't
I.
know who Nena is, he is Hawaiian Boo. He's our astrologer. And
Right.
if as a side note, if you have not gotten your birth chart done by him, baby, you missing out, especially for your kids, so you can know what's coming. And your dude or your girl or your significant other. Nena is the
Yes.
truth.
So
You guys,
I
if you
did.
need their contact information, please feel free to hit me up, call me on the shop line. I'll be more than happy to, or email me and I'll send you the links. Go ahead, Teresa.
Yeah. And I'll be sending the link through my Facebook this week. Also, the 2 or 3 questions, 2 questions, 3 questions, whatever per person. You know, that sounds
And
good.
absolutely. And if you guys are in the market to purchase low cost hoodoo supplies, you guys have seen me all day since been this live. I've been working, packing people's orders. I am your favorite hoodoo auntie, the African witch bitch, and I specialize in low cost hoodoo supplies. So if you need low cost hoodoo supplies, please feel free to hit up my website. It's in the ticker below. And Trump is really fucking with my business, but that's all right because this whole tariff thing, I'm hanging on for dear life, but I'm here for it because this is the vision that Spirit gave me, not letting his orange ass put me under. So please support our platforms. We are here for you. And our number one objective is for healing and protection, especially our youth. We are not for profit practitioners. You will never see me out there soliciting and cold calling motherfuckers. Teresa is not finna jump in your inbox trying to charge the fuck out of you for a reading. We have our own lives and we have education and we also have careers outside of being witches. So we don't need to dig in your pockets to sustain our life. This is
Yeah.
why we're not for it. And this is why we're not low vibrational ass scam artist bitches. And I'm still calling one of y'all hoes to debate me. I've been begging for years and I'm gonna keep begging, ho. If you out there scamming people and you out there charging a fuck ton of money for work and readings and you think you're justified for doing so, hit me up so we can debate, especially if you're white or non-black. And the reason why I say that is because your ancestors beat the fuck out of my ancestors for this very practice. And now you stepping up in here trying to colonize the practice and overcharge motherfuckers for their own birthright. Bitch, I need to debate you. And that's on your mama, ho. Hi. I will talk to you guys
Go to
soon.
sleep, fool.
I-
That was a good one, Tiff. You make me laugh. All
Hold
right.
on. Hold on.